Live from beautiful downtown Queens, New York. It's Schmuel Talk with Schmuel Buckman and the best looking guy on the West Coast, Mr. Dave Sarah. What's going on, David?
How's it going, bud? How you
Good.
doing? Good to be back.
Now, I don't think it's me. Are you on the right mic?
Yes.
Okay.
Am I too low?
Yes.
Okay, well, this is I'm on 200. I'm on 200%. So this is as loud.
Oh, you sound like you're very far away. So,
well,
it's possible it's me.
Tell you.
It's always possible.
Could be
no,
you.
You don't have to tell me any. You don't. I just turn up the volume and there we go.
Yeah, it is just you. It sounds perfect on the stream.
All right, cool. So what's been happening? What's going
Not
on?
much, pussy. How about you? Nothing. I went on MLC a couple times. I did an impromptu stream that, and then Mazzy went on Clown Town, so then I ended my stream, and then I've just been playing some Verdansk today. Call of Duty's back. The new old Call of Duty. So that's been fun.
I don't play I never learned to play video games, but that had more to do with I have an obsessive personality, so it was like I was afraid I would spend all my time doing it. Yeah. Like I wouldn't be able to stop.
It's exactly what Rogan says. That's why he doesn't play Quake anymore.
Oh, I watched you ever read any of the Wool series?
I never learned how to play video games is such a 60-year-old thing to say, by the way.
What can I tell you?
Well, I don't know. You're 60. I don't know.
What the fuck, you know?
Not much you can say.
No, but all my friends play them. I mean, I was old enough when they came in. They're, you know, like all these guys play them.
Yeah.
All
my friends play.
It's like why I also don't.
Friends. But yeah.
It's why I don't watch TV either that much. I started the other day with I don't know if ever read the books, but there was a book called Wool, and
No.
it's been made into an Apple TV series called Silo, and they did such a good job making it. And I saw the first season, and then the second season was 10 episodes, and I had to watch them all like within 2 days.
Mm.
So that's why I don't. That's why I try not to watch TV, because once I start, if it's a series or something, I wind up staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning finishing it. But they did a really
Mm.
good job. Yeah, so I've been getting a lot of complaints that you haven't been around.
Aw.
They turn in for you. They tune in for you, not for me.
Well, stop fucking telling me I'm gonna go live unless I say yes, I will 100% be here.
Yeah, well. Hey, how did the Mazzy thing go? What was the?
I don't fucking know. Who could care? Who's got the time for me and you, let alone MKE and Mazzy? I can't be bothered with it. I'm sorry.
I
It's
can't.
actually making me hate MKE even more that I knew he dated this garbage lady, whoever she is.
I liked. I've always enjoyed the MKE sorcerer MLCs. Like that was fun to me, but
I, don't-
without that, I don't really. I don't.
I hated that era so much. I had to become part of that era
Did
to
you,
fucking
you get to step in to try to save Kevin from himself?
exactly, dude. Yeah, yeah. I started seeing Sorcerer and MKE on Saturday nights. And I'm like, what is this? The tier 3 level Patreon members, they get their meet and greet once a month with fucking KB. So I I Venmoed KB that $50. I
Did you?
$50 Venmo. Yeah, I did. I Venmoed $50 KB. I Venmoed that to KB with a $50 message that said something like, "These guys are irrelevant. Go Dodgers. Something something. Go fuck yourself. $50." And then I think like 2 or 3 weeks later, he had me on. So I was like, "Oh well, I mean, pay to play, right?"
Yeah, I guess. I guess.
Fucking if you can't beat him, join him.
It's funny. I've been watching a bunch of videos and reading stuff to try to learn OBS and all that, and there are a shit ton of like YouTube classes to tell you how to do YouTube
Oh God.
and how to monetize and all this. And it reminds me of the old gold strikes in the West, where the guys that made money were the guys selling the equipment, not the
Yeah.
guys mining.
Literally the same analogy can be used for Bitcoin mining. There was a point. Look, a couple of my friends are like nearly self off themselves because Dogecoin went to like 22 cents at one point, and I'm telling you, when I say they had billions and billions of Dogecoin at one point, but they all stopped doing all the mining shit years and years ago because they're like, dude, first of all, the equipment is like it's all behind. So whoever's mining, like whoever you're getting the equipment from, is already selling stronger equipment to like corporations and stuff that is already doing this. So you're getting the thing late. It's the same exact thing. Like now, if he would have held on to it, obviously it would have been worth. He'd be a fucking 100 millionaire right now. But
But how do you sell it?
there's multiple ways to sell. There's all these different fucking exchanges and shit, just like there is for stocks. It's the exact same thing almost, except the transactions are shadier in some sense. They're not all shady. And then there's also like places where you can just meet people and then like physically transfer Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, stuff like that. The biggest concern and issue, the biggest thing is like, is do you own, when you're buying it from some of these places, do you own the Bitcoin or are only buying stake in it? See, like what Celsius did and all that shit. Celsius, Tripoli lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because he thought he was owning the Bitcoin or whatever, but he was just buying like basically like gold stock. And then the company went under and the stock's worthless.
Have you ever seen the guy CoffeeZilla?
Yeah, I like CoffeeZilla. He does some
So
great work.
he's he's the guy. He's the guy that exposed like
By the
Tether.
way, that's another 6-year-old thing to tell somebody 20 years younger than them. It's like, somebody who's like one of the most famous people on the internet. Do you ever heard of this CoffeeZilla guy? It's like me going up to like a 15-year-old and be like, "Have you ever heard of Skibbity Toilet?" They're like,
I've asked
"Yeah."
no, but I've asked several people of your age, and they're like, no, not really.
I know.
Um,
Well, that's because I am truly an elder millennial.
but his work is like it's pretty
Schmuel coin.
amazing. He got the the what do you call it, the Jake Paul stuff with that scam, and the the Mr. Beast scam, which was pretty wild. Mr. Beast was amazing. Uh Mr. Blue Sky, there is no money in currency. Very funny. Cigarette Jones, Dave, where should I move my stock investments? Nowhere. Nowhere. Now is that time. Buy low. Buy low. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so, I'm at work and I've had three people say to me, oh man, stocks are in the toilet. Stocks, and these people don't even have any and they're worried about it.
I mean, what's Nvidia at today? Nvidia stock 101. Yeah, I mean stocks are in the toilet. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. There's not we obviously know why. It's because all these tariffs were implemented and all these companies want to know and see what they're doing, and then buyers want to see what the companies are going to do before they have any more what's the word? Not interest, reliance,
Right.
but what's the word?
I don't know.
It's I have confidence before they have confidence, and so people are probably pulling out, and I'm sure there's some scammery going on here that, like, people that are not maybe so friendly or charitable to Trump might be, there's ways to fudge numbers, to make stocks
Yeah,
go
it's
up and down a
look,
little bit.
it's not even fudging. You know what it is that the interests of the average American and the interest of these financiers are two different interests. So it's
Yeah.
it's like that's where we're going, and these Trump tariffs are really a shot across the bow with these other countries. So we'll
Yeah.
we'll have to see. But I like Mr. Blue Sky because that's the way to show them. I buy high just to stick it to the system, but you're all too afraid.
Well, if you never sell, you never lose. So
So I have an interesting story about this. I years ago I bought some stock in Progressive Insurance Company, and you remember old Imus?
yeah,
So Imus used to sell this thing,
Mr.
or
Nappy Hose himself. Sure.
nappy-headed hose. Yeah. So he
Nappy headed
promoted this.
hose.
He promoted this thing called Acorn, where
Right.
you would just
That
put
was a
money in.
scam.
Oh, it
Acorn
wasn't.
was a bit.
I'll
I
tell
thought
you
Acorn.
what. No, it
Okay.
was just
Okay.
no. It was like dollar cost averaging, which is where you just put money into stock, and the stock eventually grows. So in any event, Acorn got
Yeah.
taken over.
Okay.
Acorn got
Perfect.
taken over by like ING. It got taken over by somebody else. I completely forgot about it and have forgot about it forever. Never took any money out of it. Never did
No,
anything with
what
it.
wasn't it? Wasn't Acorn. What was the other? Okay, sorry. Go
And then
on.
a
Go on. There was
couple of
another
years
thing.
ago, when we were doing my taxes, my wife said this other account keeps showing up. What is it? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So now it is at Schwab. It went through this whole iteration, and there's $55,000 in it. And I had only put like a few $1,000 in it. And but it's just been sitting there for 20 years. So I'm not complaining. So I have 55 extra $1,000 because of IMUS.
Okay, cool. No, I mean Acorn. I thought I'm trying to think of the. I was trying to look up the thing that was a scam that I was seeing by all the like the Instagrams and shit like that.
Oh, there's a
I thought it was Acorn. No, I mean I know. Yeah, there's a lot of scams.
there's so
Yeah.
many scams.
I had Nvidia stock, I had Ethereum, and I had Bitcoin. I sold my Nvidia stock in 2023 when before it split. I was still up a ridiculous amount. I remember, I think I was telling you, right? Wait, was I still,
Hmm.
was I talking to you back then? Maybe not.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if
I
I was
don't really
telling you,
listen to you when you speak.
but yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think like from November of 2023 until maybe June of 2024, I rode Nvidia, kicked myself for not saving some of it, but I think I sold at like to almost plus 2,000%, almost. I mean, because the stock went from $150 went up to like 400 something dollars, and I had options and I had like all kinds of shit. Um, so and then I sold Ethereum, almost Ethereum and Bitcoin at like their first, almost their first high, like 50K Bitcoin and like $3,500 Ethereum. I sold at those, and I maybe made 4,000 bucks off of both of those. I didn't really even have all that money, but ever since then, forget the Nvidia. Nvidia was a fluke because I was given a tip, like you should buy these options; they're really cheap and it could pay out really big. It'll be 1,000 bucks, and you could fucking 10x here, big time. So I made a nice little penny. But but I haven't had any confidence in stocks, haven't any confidence in Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the other, especially to Bitcoin, is the weirdest thing. When Bitcoin first came out, it never mattered what the price of Bitcoin was. Now they're trying to make it into this whole thing where they wanted to make this reserve currency and all this shit. The U.S. holds, I think, 200. I think they have, at the time of Mt. Gox being removed, they had something of like $250 million worth of Bitcoin at that time. So imagine what that is now. So that's out of the circulation of Bitcoin currently. People are keeping their eyes on those accounts and all that stuff. It's probably owned by the United States. So manipulated like that. Like the point of Bitcoin was always, I'm the drug dealer. You want the drugs? You send me the Bitcoin. I send you the drugs. You transfer out the Bitcoin and get your money. Like, that's and then you just get the $50 or the $100 worth of whatever the fuck. Like the price of it never mattered because you're not buying one Bitcoin to pay for something. You're buying the whatever percentage you need to transfer. So the price of it has always been like it. It's counterintuitive to what Bitcoin was created for. So
Yeah. Well, the whole point of Bitcoin was to keep it out of the hands of the government, right?
okay, right. It wasn't okay. Yes, I'm not saying there was a lot of points to the Bitcoin. I understand, but one of the major things was that it didn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. It could be two pairs of skis. It could be a cow. It could be milk. It could be chickens. But the fact that we have a monetary value on it that we've set. Well, I don't even know how that even gets set. I've honestly have zero idea of how that gets set. I'm sure there's somebody out there that tells me that says, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I was reading. What the fuck was I reading about? I was reading about the one where that you were talking earlier about not buying the Bitcoin itself, but buying shares of the company.
Yeah.
And I was reading about one of these guys, and he was telling people that essentially what was happening was you were buying Bitcoin from him, and that's what you had, but you didn't. What he was doing was he was taking your money and betting it opposite you. They were trading it like commodities. So since
Okay.
most commodity deals bomb, what he was doing was he was taking your money and you were buying it at a price and he was betting against you. And he won for a long time and then you got your money back because he was making money. And then one day his bets didn't pan out so well and the next thing you know nobody's getting paid. So,
Yeah. That I mean,
hey
there's
KB.
there's all these different classifications of how you could take money and what you can take money. Basically, you know, at this point, you like even my 401k. I constantly every every other week, I'm constantly looking at my 401k and removing assets and putting in industries and removing industries that I want and don't want my money going towards. Like, and I, for the most part, keep it pretty conservative in my 401ks and stuff. And it's very down right now. But like, I stay active with it. A lot of people don't even stay active with that shit, and they miss
Yeah,
out on a lot of potential
I'm not
money.
active with it. I have
Yeah.
Vanguard. I have a bunch of funds in Vanguard, and I just put money in every month. And
Like, it never used to be that way. It never used to be like, it used to always be a fucking, even when I started working in like 2005, when I got my first real job, um, right after high school, like 401k programs, Merrill Lynch and stuff like that, like you'd have to, you'd have to call, they'd have to send you a booklet,
right.
and then you'd have to fill out the booklet, send it back, and then you have to call and verify, and then you wouldn't even know if when it took effect. It wouldn't take effect that next month. Now it's all fucking instant on your shit. It's all fucking, you know.
Well, it used to
I
be like you'd own 2 shares in a corporation, and then once a year you'd get a giant prospectus about them
Yeah,
voting.
exactly.
And
No, you got to stay on top of that shit because it's like one of your biggest assets. Well, it's like one of my biggest assets.
it's funny because one of the guys that I know, hold on, that worked with my wife. Hey,
Sup,
Crom,
bitch?
one of
What
the guys,
up?
one of the guys who works with my wife. He worked
My
for the
wife.
he worked for the company that printed them, and they stopped printing those, and they made him retire at like 52.
Oh, okay.
Can I just pipe in real quick? Because Dave, what
Sure.
you were thinking of was the Association of Community Organizations for Reform Now, ACORN. That's what you were thinking of.
Oh, the scam.
The scam, yeah.
Yeah. What was that then? What was that?
It was a Democratic-run organization to
Yeah, it
scam people
was.
out of money.
Yeah, it was. I knew it.
And you had that one dude who I can't remember his name. He
was
does.
it Sneakio? Did he
No,
expose it or not?
He exposed. There's a guy that exposes stuff, and he was.
Yeah.
He does it still to this day, but he got. I can't remember his name. It's gonna bother me now. I gotta figure it out.
The guy who ran Acorn was a big time Democratic activist. I can't remember his name, but he always
Yeah.
had the Acorn shirt on, and it was big here in New York because Al Sharpton was involved in it,
Oh yeah, it was a big thing.
right? And Al's like the only guy I've ever known that's gotten away with just not paying taxes. Just hasn't paid him. And Al had the which was like sort of, I don't know whether it's a subsidiary of Acorn or funded by Acorn. He had the National Action Network.
That was his
and-
own thing.
right,
They all
and
have
it's-
their own thing.
The National Action Network had a fire and all their records were destroyed. And if you and I had that fire, we would have wound up in jail. And
Yeah,
Al wound
or
up with a
audited.
$15 million
Yeah,
MSNBC contract.
Audited.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. It's I mean, it's
Or
just
or
if-
like
if-
Jesse Jackson, Rainbow Push Coalition. They all have their own fucking
exactly.
cool
Yeah, Jesse
name.
Jackson. All Davey D.
He's still alive too. I looked him up
Yeah,
yesterday.
he is.
'cause I
He's
thought
not
he
in
was
the
dead.
Rainbow. He's not in the Rainbow Coalition anymore, though.
When
Oh,
I
they took it over. The faggots. I mean,
when I was
Eggs.
back in the dating world and I was in my 40s, I went on a date with a chick.
Wait, hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, but it's not going to be pertinent if I don't say anymore. By the way, if you or I try to fly a plane into our own buildings and then collect the insurance money, I don't think we'd get away with it.
No.
I don't think we'd get away with it.
Oh, I see. Dave's got his roadcaster.
we wouldn't.
This guy Frank is gonna love you, Dave. No, I was dating a chick, and she ran a nonprofit, right? And I was like, "What do you do?" She couldn't really explain it, and she was always taking me whenever we went out to dinner. She
What
always
would you
wanted to.
say you do here?
She always wanted to pay, and whatever. And then I found out one day she was making 238 grand a year was her base salary,
Holy.
and I'm like,
God damn.
and then several years later, I won't say the name of it, but several years later, the New York Post publishes a story about these different nonprofits. And they were like, she was making 238. Employee salaries were like 95% of this organization. And nobody ever got helped. And that organization went into the shitter and whatever. And then the next thing I know, she's back out with something else. She's got
Yeah,
some
dude.
other program that she's in.
That's basically why Elon started Doge, because USAID, it's
Right.
it's the same shit. It's just a funneling scheme for people the people in the know. Because I wish I knew how to start a nonprofit and get paid by the government to have an NGO funded by the G. I
Yep.
wish.
Yes.
And originally that
Otherwise known
money
as
was
fascism.
yeah, Kennedy
Nazis.
was like Kennedy was the real starter of that, like Kennedy and Johnson, and it was a way to funnel money to these small countries to
Yeah.
just keep them quiet,
Yeah.
keep
Well,
their
yeah,
leaders
Kennedy
in
started.
power.
What was it? Fuck, dude, my brain's stupid. I just ate an edible. He started the. God damn it! Carry
Well, hold
on.
on, but while you think of that, just think of like oh, dude, I was fucking. I can't remember who I was listening to. It might have been Tim Pool or Adam Kroll. I can't remember. But they're talking about they're like Israel and Egypt. You know, they were at war for. Oh no, it was Dave Smith and Joe Rogan. I was like, this is kind of a bad take by Dave Smith a little bit because they're like, yeah,
Dude,
like,
he's nothing but bad takes.
but I mean, he's got some good takes, but
No.
but
He's an idiot.
but the one I was the most like not offended by, but like he didn't bring up the real point of why Israel and Egypt stopped fighting in the 70s is because America comes and said, all right, we'll give you $3 billion each year in perpetuity. They're like, okay, well well, we're talking. Oh, well, yeah, we'll start fighting then. And it's like, okay, yeah.
I was thinking of the Peace Corps, by the way. JFK started the Peace Corps.
That's right.
Which they do a lot of good work, and I've had friends that have been in the Peace Corps, but it's funny enough they all end up working for the government after they get out of the Peace Corps.
I have
the revolving door.
I have family. My dad's sister married a guy, moved to Iowa, and she had like 10 kids. And I think like 8 of them wound up working for the Peace Corps in like Nicaragua and places like that. They all work for the government now.
Yeah,
Probably retired from the government.
I know 2 guys, both gay, and they both joined the Peace Corps right after
Let's do
college. Both work for the State Department now. Like,
Yeah, man, you fucking you know, you look. Let's be real. Let's be very real about this. If I somehow came into a lot of money, or I had some brilliant idea of starting some kind of crazy business, and it went and became $1 billion business, literally all of my captains and chairmans and people on the whatever on my staff are gonna be like, it's gonna be like Cardiff Electric and Schmuel and Crumbum. Ian
shit.
Hawk's
Thank you.
gonna be running accounting. I mean, it's crazy. It's gonna
he
be
should run.
nuts.
He should run gay ops. The gay ops
He's
division.
gonna maybe run security. We don't know what
Yeah,
Ian Hawk's gonna do,
security.
but he'll do something. Right? Stevie Lou, he'll be
Stevie
you know
Lou. Yeah.
in charge of buying supplies for the thing, and he'll have all the keys.
Well,
Yeah,
everything.
how it's
and
gonna be.
fake blood. He's in
Every-
charge of the fake blood.
Stuttering John and his children will never have to worry about money again. They'll always have a job at Dave Corp.
I'm going to tell you know, Stuttering John's kid, the one that went to Harvard,
That's right. Crown.
that's like a
currently
license.
going.
That's a license to print money.
Yeah, the fucking
Yeah.
I mean, dude.
It's all.
The-
It doesn't matter how much it costs. You're always going to be taken care of. You know, I have a. I had
wish
a
I
friend of
gotten
mine.
hired by someone like that though. Back in the day, because I put out feelers. I'd always type in like, yeah,
Consensual
sign me
feelers.
up. Yeah, like, oh, I wish the CIA would hire me. Never did. I guess if you're too,
That
you
was the
needy.
biggest gay op forever. Everybody always said the FBI did on doing all this. No. It's been literally the CIA controls
CIA.
literally FBI. Do you remember that? Remember there was remember an FBI agent got shot in front of the CIA headquarters, and it was news for 3 seconds, and then
like
went
a
away.
couple weeks ago.
No, did it happen recently? No. It
Yeah.
happened. No, it happened.
Someone went
years
to the
ago.
CIA
Not
headquarters
that
a couple weeks ago and was shooting people. Yeah.
No, that's
Some
crazy. I
guy
didn't know that, but I'm saying,
pulled.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
There was a
I gonna say-
Lebanese guy that shot up that and killed.
Oh, I
an
didn't even know
FBI
that.
agent.
I didn't even know that. I just, maybe
That
okay,
not a
the
few
one-
weeks ago. I think that's what you're talking about. Dave,
Maybe
but
what
go
I'm
ahead.
talking about from a few years ago, where like FBI agent got shot like at a CIA, not a headquarters, but maybe it was the headquarters, but it was one of the offices. It's like just random shit that kind of shit happens. And yeah, CIA is supposed to be like international, and FBI is like national, but like we know
Yeah,
who's got all the tech and the money.
The CIA is not allowed to work within our borders. They're not
Exactly,
supposed
they're
to
not
be
supposed
inside
to.
the country,
It's like,
but
it's like Five Eyes shit.
they are.
Yeah,
from
it's like Five Eyes shit. Like we watch France, France watches England, England watches Australia, Australia watches us, or whatever the fuck
yeah
it is.
from
No, no, no.
the people that I know is that the FBI runs much of the CIA. Like in yeah, well,
The CIA runs the whole government. That's what I know.
all right. Well, I mean, yeah,
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
I honestly
We
think
could
it's
argue
the
that-
Pentagon. The Pentagon. Let's be real. It's really the Pentagon is what it is. Like they
No,
like
the Pentagon is just that's another entity. That's the armed services. We're talking about 3 different entities right now. Who runs who? I think the CIA runs all of them.
yeah,
very possible.
I disagree.
state.
I disagree, but 'cause I think the FBI runs. I think the FBI runs way more than you think. And
No, I know.
you know, and
we all know they do run way more than they need to.
so my buddy just retired from NYPD, and he was counterterrorism, blah blah blah, and he was essentially employed by the FBI
Yeah.
for
Well,
for most of the years, and we've talked about that. And my father-in-law's dad is retired CIA, and he, some of the stuff he tells me, I'm just like I'm blown away. Look, they do a lot, but in a lot of these countries, they don't give a fuck. That's the problem. It's all about the money. It's all about keeping the leadership in power, and the entire. The point of not now, but the point of the CIA, I guess, was to just try to keep some stability in the world, and they didn't care how they did it. So I'm going to be making a lot of noise here. Hold on.
yeah, I mean, we could talk about this for hours. I think their first mission statement was to stop the Nazis, but after that it gets a little gray. I mean, they killed JFK. Bars.
Yeah, see, that's yeah. I'm not a believer in the CIA killing JFK, but hey,
What?
hey, you can do it.
what did the news shit say about who killed JFK? What was like somebody named 3 names. Who was it?
I was trying to watch the hearings in the Senate or whatever the fuck it was, but that one lady from Texas, that lady of color, whatever, she started talking about fucking Trump again. I got confused, and
Jasmine Crockett.
Yes,
my
Jasmine
favorite.
Crockett.
My favorite. I love Jasmine. I love crazy congresspeople.
She's
I
from
laugh
Austin,
because
isn't
it's
she?
like I'm listening to these right wing people that are like, and I'm one of them, but I'm listening to them.
You're
and
a
they're
right-winger?
like, she deserves to be put. She should be put away. And that the Duck guy, what the fuck? They're not Duck Downs. Charles R. Downs.
Charles
Oh, I
Downs.
was assaulted. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, have you fucking people ever talked to Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Well, Marjorie
These
Taylor
people.
Greene is
dude.
fucking retarded also. But also too, Trump trying to be like getting all pissy with Massey for not voting for the spending bill. But then he's like, oh, maybe we should get Lindsey Graham back and go, oh, fuck yourself, Trump. If you want to
Yeah,
get
Lindsey
Lindsey
Graham,
back in here,
who
just
is
suck
a
my dick.
closeted
Fucking
homosexual.
faggaroo.
Right. But here's the.
Imagine
This is.
being a gay Floridian warmonger.
You're
actual
gay.
gay-
That's you.
No, I'm
You?
saying Lindsey Graham.
Lindsay's
he's
from
from-
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah, excuse me.
Carolina.
But the
Yeah,
deal-
sorry. I thought it was
the-
Florida.
the
Oh, no,
problem,
no, no.
like-
South Carolina.
No.
My bad.
You live
South
in
Carolina.
Oh, you don't live in Florida.
South
No,
Carolina,
I
South
know my
Carolina, sorry.
senators. It's not Lindsey Graham. We got was Marco Rubio and fucking the other dude, but
Sorry, South Carolina.
But you guys all want to get rid of McConnell. But the reality is that if McConnell leaves,
he's gone. He left.
He's gone. Yeah.
when did he go?
This
No,
last-
he's not the leader anymore. But he hasn't left the Senate.
No, but he's not seeking re-election.
He's not. He's
Right,
not going
because
to be real.
Bashir is the guy that's probably the governor of Kentucky. He's like the most popular governor on the planet, and he's a Democrat. So, good luck seeing
No,
what
I'm
happens.
gonna disagree. I'm gonna say fucking DeSantis is the most popular governor.
Okay,
My guy.
yeah, I know. I realize he's your guy, and I realize he's popular, but I don't think he's as popular as
He's a douche.
As
I've met him.
Bashir.
I've actually hung out with that man twice.
DeSantis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about DeSantis, but I do know about some of these other guys. Like you got
Douche.
Blumenthal,
He just reminds me of Bobo.
JD Vance, and those guys. It's all
Short
like,
man.
they have military credentials, but they were all like lawyers in the military.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
They're all
come on,
jag.
you
DeSantis
know?
was a jag. Yep.
Yeah,
He was
and
a
DeSantis.
fucking a county commissioner in my county, and then he got to the state level, and then he went to the, or I mean not the state level. He went became a representative for our state, and then he's the governor. Fucking douche though. Like I've been at him. I've been with him at a party. Like it was at a barn. There was horses, and he was wearing fucking cowboy boots.
Doesn't seem like a stable situation to me.
Ah,
Well, his wife was in the news, and my wife worked with his wife, so that's how I met him. And she was like the fakest person in the fucking place, like helmet hair. Her hair was just like,
well, that's what they're saying now, right? She wants to be senator.
no, she's gonna run for governor, maybe. There's no fucking
Oh,
way.
governor,
She has a shot
who-
in
and-
hell, dude.
Against what Byron? Can't think of
That
his
black
last name.
dude's, he's got it hands down. Trump already endorsed him. I'm voting for him. Whatever Trump says, I do. That's my stance. In
See,
life.
up here, it's kind of the reverse, right? Like if you get endorsed by Trump, you're kind of like going to
Yeah,
lose.
yeah, it's death knell.
So, but we'll see. But like, I'm in my residency and voting is in New Jersey, and Trump made great inroads there last election. But the reality is that right now he's not the most popular guy in Jersey.
I like your governor, dude. I like no. I'm thinking of Pennsylvania. Never mind. I don't know who. Your
Not
governor
mine.
is. Yeah, no, I was thinking of the Pennsylvania governor. He's a Democrat.
My guy's film. Well, if she look, the funny thing is that Harris could have picked Shapiro. You're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Harris could have picked Shapiro to be her
Way
running
better.
mate,
Yeah.
and she chose not to pick him because he's Jewish, and he's
My-
got like Israel support. Israel, so she chose not to get him, and she picked Waltz instead. And you couldn't have selected somebody worse.
No.
Like if you tried, if you said, let's go out and pick the shittiest person we can find,
Yeah.
you couldn't have hit
A
on
weird,
Waltz more.
wacky, fucking super liberal douchebag who fucked up Minnesota. And I mean, first of all, Minnesota. We all know. I mean, Minnesota.
Right.
Yeah. My
And
mom
then
just
he-
went to the Republicans, she's part of the Lady Republicans, whatever the fuck it's called. So they have a
Your
meeting.
mom is? And you live in
Yeah.
California, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, she a huge Trump supporter.
Good for her.
She
Going against the grain.
They and in Whittier every month or two they have like this fucking huge. It's all women, lady Republicans. So I go to pick them up one time, maybe 3 months ago or something like that, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I can see some fucking nice little 4-year-old Republicans. But it's nope, literally all people in their 60s and 70s. Okay, no.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I'm sure there's an age group for you also. I'm like, okay,
I feel
they're
like
just
in-
called Republicans.
In California,
40.
that's like you're putting yourself out there if you identify.
Dude, I know you say that. LA, it's not as crazy. It's not as crazy as you think. There's like it's very siphoned off too. Because you gotta understand, Mexicans are very religious. Like
Oh,
they
yeah, super
go
Catholic.
and they talk about, they support the Democrats because
Santeria
the Democrats,
shit.
they're so, I don't know how much they support. Like they, I think if there was, first of all, I already think there's shady shit going on with elections in California. Forget super delegates. Let's not even talk about that. But just all that stuff in general, I think there's like some shady shit going on. But with LA specifically, like LA County's huge. It's very burrowed out. You basically have like black people in South Central and like downtown, but like mostly suburbs and stuff like that is like very Mexican or Asian. And you only really get like the super crazy progressives in like West LA and certain parts of Hollywood. But like they're also the heads of a lot of the big companies in LA and stuff like that. So that's where you get a real issue. The people themselves, the citizens, I think there's a lot more Trump supporters than you think. And I know that 2 years ago, when they had the midterm elections, there were 250,000 more Republican voters in the county of LA than the previous election. I don't know what the stat was this year, but I guarantee you it's slowly increasing.
But in California, if I remember correctly, don't you have like we have in my town, our elections are nonpartisan. So
No.
you can be a Democrat or you can be a Republican, but you don't run as that. You run
Yeah, no, we do.
as the
Like
person.
even my other than the school
So
district ones,
but that's why like you
Yeah.
can wind up in
Certain
California
things.
with two Democrats running against each other for senator in the general election, which
that does
wouldn't
happen,
happen in
yeah.
other places. So
Yeah, no,
That,
we have like partisan like primaries and stuff.
no,
and-
you do there.
but certain like school boards and that shit is not
That stuff,
partisan.
yeah.
It's just
Right.
it's just a
And
name.
the thing about like places like New York, what they do here is you have the petitions. So the unions basically run everything here because that's
Yeah,
where
you
all the
got
money
unions.
is.
Yeah,
yeah, same
and
here.
and the left wing
Not here.
people. So what happens is like let's say that you get somebody that is going to. Do you guys remember Sheldon Silver,
yeah.
the
Shel
head of the
Silverstein.
Senate? Right, he wound up going to jail. So the deal was is that Silver was in trouble, and they wanted to run somebody against him, and the person that they were running against him was gaining traction. So what Silver's people did, or the party, they got some third candidate who was very much like the other candidate. And it splits the vote, and then Silver wins the primary. And that's what goes on all the time. And AOC got elected the first time, not because she was special or unique, but because she worked,
she had the
and only
machine
like
around her.
23 or 24% of the people voted. And that's what
Yeah.
happens up here.
But
And
I feel like that's probably like Jasmine Crockett's same thing. Like they must have not voted. No one voted in that
Bro,
county. Or
Monica-
But you
Well,
also get, but then you get like you start to, I don't know. Then you like if you're like me, you start like, ooh, a Jasmine Crockett. She's gonna thumb the nose in the face. Like she's crazy. I'd vote for her just because she's so nuts. And Congress has always been filled with nuts. The House of
No,
Representatives,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
since the beginning of time. You
My
know,
congressman's a fucking retard.
Bro, fucking fuck, I forgot what my point was gonna be now.
but you know, I was laughing because Brennan said.
Politics.
Remember, Brennan said he was going to run for mayor of Jersey City, right? So there's actually an election going on, and I'm laughing because the leading candidate, one of the candidates is Bill McGreevey, the former
McGreevy, yeah.
the former governor who got
The
busted
gay.
for being gay, and
being gay.
second among that. Well, the thing was, if he had
He
just
lied
been
about it.
gay, it probably would have been fine. But it turned out that he had a security guy that he had on the payroll, and he'd been paying that guy a couple of $100,000 a year, and it turned out that that was his boyfriend. In any event, but number
and
two
people
is
don't like being lied to. If he had just come out and said, "I'm a fag, I like to suck the dicks," and his wife wasn't there in the background crying behind him as he groveled to the American people.
well. His the story of his wife is she's from a Portuguese family, political family there. They set that up to get to get some Portuguese pull in the U.S. and it was like going to be she was going to be starting a dynasty, and she
Isn't
wound
that
up
one guy-
marrying a gay guy. She's like.
Is it Mary?
I've met her and seen her and talked like in various things and talked to her at that time, and man, she is a pill. She is like the least interesting person. She's just cold. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
I get
okay.
it. I get
Yeah,
it.
like see, like Eric Adams, he'll run as an independent. But like, there wasn't the L.A. mayoral race that one rich dude, billionaire. I forget his name now. Didn't he switch from the ballots from being Republican to being a Democrat just so he can like?
Oh, Bloomberg.
Was it?
Well,
No,
that's
Bloomberg did it.
No, California.
I was thinking
California.
Bloomberg too.
Somebody did it in California. I think the guy was on Rogan too. Even I can't remember his name. I was trying to search. I couldn't do a quick search.
Mayor of
Bloomberg went from
California. I
Democrat to Republican.
Mayor of
Yeah, I'm
LA,
not
Mayor
familiar
of
with the
LA.
mayoral
Mayor of
races
LA.
of
Yeah.
LA. I know they
yeah,
got
yeah.
some incompetent bitch that burned the city down, right?
Yeah,
Let's look at that now.
fucking starts with a B.
What's
Bitch.
hilarious? I've listened to a couple of the.
Basque.
Gavin Newsom podcasts, and you would think that Gavin you'd think he's a conservative now, you know?
Is he really
Yeah,
doing that?
he's
Yeah,
doing,
'cause-
dude, we got to start watching. We got to start hate watching that.
Ooh, that could be a show. Just fucking watching that bullshit. Because you know, Kamala's running for governor of California.
Right.
The
And it's
podcasting, I'm going on record right now. Podcasting is now what they've done. They've turned it to the newest form of money laundering. Art has been exposed. Book sales have been exposed. It's all being bullshit. Obama gets a book sale. They find 30,000 copies of the book in an abandoned warehouse somewhere, and it's a New York bestseller. Sure. Okay. It's just a way to siphon $3 million to his bank account. Same thing with same thing with art, right? You commission an artist, $25,000. You bring it to your gallery. You have your friend appraise it for 15 million. Burns up in a thing. You have a fucking activist put their hand on it and glue it, whatever, and you get your money. Go suck my dick.
No one bought
Same thing
that
now.
book.
Same thing now. Michelle Obama. She's got her own podcast. Oh, I'm sure she's gonna be siphoning all kinds of money, not just for her. Probably they use these people. The machine uses them to siphon little bits of money, just like they make Bill Gates marry Melinda Gates, so that when the piper comes to call for his money, the government says, all right, now it's time for you to get divorced. We'll take all of Melinda's money, siphon it through a thing, and you're free to go and do whatever you want with your half. You've done a great job for us, Bill. Go be a crazy person. Jeff Bezos, go marry your fucking fake Barbie bitch. Your money, half of your money, your billions, went to your ex-wife, who then siphoned all of it literally into charities that then take it tax-free and money launder it to where the fuck they have to money launder it to.
Yeah, I mean, those are pretty wild conspiracies there, Dave,
mean,
because
that's
you would have
just
had to have done that back before. But Bill Gates, the thing about Bill Gates that I remember was Gates was totally anti-political when he started when he started Microsoft. They did
And then
not
they
want to get
started
involved. They
prying
did
him.
not want to get involved. And then he put Internet Explorer on the Windows program, and the government came after him for the antitrust stuff. And that's how he learned, was that he had to buy into the government in order to keep going. Because you can't run a successful business in this country without contributing to somebody. Everybody's
Well,
political.
wait. What about Elon?
Same exact thing with Elon. Same exact thing with Jeff Bezos. The only one that seemed to get away, and it's starting to make a little more sense now because he's just literally playing ball with everything, is Zuck. And maybe that's coming because now I think he just got married.
I think Elon is doing a pretty good job. He's
No. But what I'm saying is,
to anybody.
but what I'm saying is his wife gets the
he
wife
ain't got no
divorces.
wife. He's
He
got
had
like
one.
5 baby mamas.
But I thought he had a wife before, didn't he?
Oh, he's been married a couple times,
he's
but
been
he's got a
married a
bunch of
couple
baby
times.
mamas. Even that fucking dumb bitch that said he had a baby,
He paid
he's
him
like,
off
fuck
with
it.
PayPal.
I'm
Everything
paying
after-
her.
He paid the government off with PayPal. Everything after PayPal, they're like, all right, well, I mean, you paid us off with PayPal.
No,
There
He
you go.
got a
this-
loan from the government for Tesla, and he paid it back before it was due, and paid fucking fines for paying it too early. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
but the
think-
deal is with Elon. Nah, but you got to get this. Tesla would not be Tesla without tax breaks.
No, of
That's-
course they wouldn't. But
that's what
he's
it is.
acknowledged
And-
that, and he's paid that back.
And no, he didn't pay back tax breaks
did.
because it was
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were giving it to the individual
tax breaks,
buyers.
but he
But
paid
it's
back
also like
loans.
Bezos with Amazon. The only reason why Amazon was able to build as well as it built was because it didn't start paying sales taxes on products until about 4 or
Yeah.
5 years ago, right?
But I am fine with that. If I can get my shit within the fucking 24 hours, sometimes 12 hours, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm
give a
not.
fuck.
I'm not fine with it because what happens is you still have to build roads, you still have to have local businesses, you still have to have all those things, and you don't have any of that stuff. That's what
I
took
got
away
all
from
that. I got all that. I got roads.
it. You do now.
I got a
You do
couple
now
roads.
because now they're figuring it out. But when you have,
No, man,
it's
like
like when
I've had
you
them forever.
when you've got a store guy that can't run his business because he's got to pay. He's charging you sales tax, but Jeff Bezos can ship shit overnight and not pay it. It's not fair.
This is
You
the,
know?
this is
I
the
get that.
argument.
I get
this
that.
is sort
I
of
get
the
that.
argument. This is sort of the argument against libertarianism, right? A little bit. It's like, what happens when your country kind of sort of goes a little too libertarian? Well, look at Mexico, and it's like, well, when you don't have a strong government at all, you
Are they
basically get
libertarian?
taken over. No, not necessarily, but when you try to form some sort of liberty, when you basically they're not libertarian, but what they did was remove the power from the government, and
I
then
thought they were a
cartels took
narco
over.
fucking fake state.
Well, that's the whole.
But
That's
that can happen in a libertarian state, and then
that's-
but what happens is you get Tehran, right? Not the city Tehran, but the one in Mexico, Tehran or whatever it's called, and you get all the rich ass fucking people that they're like, okay, we're gonna kick the government and the cartels out by hiring our own private security and building our walls and gates, and nobody will be able to get in and out unless they're literally they own a property on this little area, and it's like, okay, we'll
yeah,
just
I
do
would
that
never
then.
go. I would never go to Mexico.
No, I
look,
wouldn't either.
the deal is with places like Mexico, you're talking about the narco terrorists or whatever, is whenever somebody's going to make money off of drugs and sex and everything, somebody's going to make money off it. And when they start making money, they don't want to cede control. So they eventually become the government. That's basically what happens in
That's
Mexico.
why we legalize it all and say, fuck it. Fentanyl illegal. You want some fent? Get it. Get it at CVS. You know? I mean, then you have other.
But then you got,
corporations that-
then you got dead people all lining the streets. So, I mean, I don't know. You know,
survival of the fittest, man.
it's not actually what survival of the fittest
You
is,
know
but
I'm-
hey,
you know
we're all
I'm
good with
joking.
it.
You know I'm joking.
I mean, it kind of is still survival of the fittest. Because
No,
hey, you gotta be up on your drugs. You gotta be
I'm
able to
being
hang with
verbose.
me.
Yeah.
You want to take fentanyl
exactly.
with me, nigga,
Dude,
all night?
if
Get out
Coke
of
was legal, bro, come on, man. Well, I mean,
Coke was legal.
that's the thing. Like, would it knock off some of the people? Maybe.
Maybe.
Probably. It will.
Hopefully.
But they're still going to die anyway. But now it's
right.
legally, and the narco fucking states of Mexico.
Yeah,
and
but the
Culiacan
problem-
are not getting
and
it.
then they can
The
go to
problem with that
receipt.
stuff is it's also not libertarian because what happens is everybody winds up paying the price. You know, when Dave becomes even if it's legal, a strung out coke addict who now needs millions of dollars of medical care to stay alive because his heart doesn't work anymore.
Well, that's
We're
the
all gonna
perfect
pay for it.
part of our country. We don't have state-run medical care, so fuck it. You don't have insurance. Not my
Nope.
problem.
Why do you think your insurance costs as much as it does? Because we have to control. You know, what's insurance? It's the law of large numbers, right? We all put in to share the expenses, whether or not the government pays. The only difference between government healthcare and healthcare is how the bill is footed, right? It's single payer versus these other ones.
I just don't pay them.
You don't have-
I'm talking
I
out
don't-
my ass, guys. I
I
don't know
never
what I'm
go to
talking
the
about. I'm just
hospital with
going
my
off
ID.
the fucking cuff.
I never go to the hospital with my ID. That's all I say. That's all I'm saying.
No,
So listen, I
paid
want
all
to
my
change.
hospital bills,
I'm going to
but they're
change.
very low.
I'm listen. We're getting off this because I want to go into something that I think you guys will
No,
enjoy.
Bring
we're
it back.
poking holes
So,
in your shit.
bring it
is
back.
why.
Our boy Frank said, there are studies that show that drug usage doesn't go up with the legalization of them, and I will tell you
Frank
that
knows.
you can get a study that will do anything you want for you.
Yeah,
but
studies are bullshit. They're almost like money laundering.
Dave, stop talking for a minute, please.
No.
But this is where I go with this. This is what's
This
so
is why you
funny
have me
is,
on.
you know, the calorie counts that they make you put up in Dunkin' Donuts and places like that.
Yeah.
There was a guy that came up with a really cool study, which I think was actually legit, that showed when they put calorie counts up, people eat more because they don't calculate, they misjudge the calorie. They would walk in the morning
Yeah,
and
they're like,
go,
oh my god, a muffin's 500 calories? Get the fuck out of here.
No, but they would
they're
go-
Like, no, it's only 150 actually.
no. They would go in and they would go, oh, I got 2,000 calories a day. So
Right.
a 500 calorie muffin, that's not so bad.
Exactly.
And then,
If
you know,
give
by the
people
end
a
of the
fucking
day-
like a outline, they'll follow it, but it's not a right outline. It's bullshit.
And that's the thing too. It almost seems manufactured to the sense that because they were so wrong. It's literally the opposite is true. You should not be eating sugar. Bread is bad for you. You're not supposed to eat 3 times a day. Probably should only eat 1 time a day, and then fast the rest of the days. Like all that shit is starting to show that it's true. And at what point do you look at this and say, is all of our research bullshit? Is it all just bought and paid for? That's how I think of it.
Well,
I mean, I
and in any
personally-
event, I'm going to laugh. 'Cause my friend Mr. Blue Sky always comes up with the good ones. Mr. Blue Sky, I never go to the hospital ever. There's a strong correlation between sick people and hospitals, dude. I once had a guy say to me, he wasn't going to the hospital because that's where people died. And instead, he died in his apartment.
Right. No,
So
it's all true statements. It's true. I've never seen any alive or dead people at Panera, right?
so Chris Mack, I've had 0 calories since Tuesday night. I'll eat again on Saturday.
Damn.
Dude, Chris Mack is a fucking machine. That motherfucker is like the
I love Chris
opposite
Mack.
of a Dabbleverse person.
Yeah.
He's like long hair, thin, piercing eyes, long
Oh, you met him?
cock. Yeah.
Oh,
Dude.
nice.
Very nice dude. He's
No,
like,
I've
yeah, he
always
did
I've
a-
always
he
enjoyed
did a-
Chris Mack on the chats. Very good.
Dave,
like a-
Dave,
he did like a
Dave
five-
seems like he's got a little thing for that Chris Mack
I
guy.
was just surprised. He did like a 5K on the Sunday morning of Skankfest, and it's like, oh, this guy's got his shit together.
Yeah. He seems
Frank, Schmuel never puts up my Palestine stuff. Like, what are his thoughts on the Hannibal directive? I don't. The problem is, Chris, I don't put up. Oh, Frank, whatever your name is. I don't put up a lot of shit that I if I don't know what it is, I'm not going to talk about it. And
and you're Jewish, so you don't.
I'll
wanna
take
fucking-
time. I'll take time to read it.
You
So-
know,
Actually, I
you
don't
know
even
what
know
I
if you're
find-
Jewish. I don't think
you know,
you're
I'm
Jewish.
curious.
Shmuel sounds
It's not.
Jewish, but I don't think you are Jewish.
Shmuel's- Where do you think Shmuel came from? You think
This
Shmuel's
sounds
his
Jewish.
given Hebrew name?
100%. I thought that was his real name. I thought his name was Mr.
And
Shmuel
then
Buckman.
Buckman. So, which is obviously Jewish, right? Buckman.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
funny,
put a
there-
lot of. Yeah,
There's a major bridge
It should be
in
Buckstein.
Jacksonville. It's the Buckman Bridge. That's what I always think of.
No, yeah, Buckman is definitely a good old white boy's name.
Yeah.
Schmuel.
But
Yep.
not
Go ahead.
right, true. It's right, true. But the fuck, I lost my goddamn.
Crumb sounds Catholic,
Well,
right?
you know what I find funny? So now when I since my channel's monetized, and I started to get these AdSense, I get AdSense and stuff like now too. One of the disclaimers when you go into your Google AdSense thing is that specifically the Ukraine war. So if you specifically make videos going against the Ukraine war, your videos cannot be monetized.
Really?
I wonder if that's the same for the. It's so
Yeah, but
weird.
it does make sense, right? Because it's like you're selling advertising, right? Who's going to want to It's like it would be like if you made a video saying ISO was a good guy. Who'd fucking want to advertise with that?
No, but it's just
True.
odd to me that like that
As a business.
specifically is the thing that they target. Like now that this war with Palestine and Israel have broken out, are they going to pick a side on like which content is okay to say yes or no to? Like,
Yeah, but I mean, if you made a bunch of anti-Palestine videos, they might go against you too. You never know. I mean, have you tried that?
no, I've never made anti-Ukrainian.
Dave,
videos.
why don't you just test this all out and let us know how it works?
No, I like my YouTube channel being monetized.
Let's see how we can get you demonetized.
I what do you call it? I was
Say the N-word a bunch.
I said it
reading
one
about a
time.
guy today who got a monetized YouTube channel and then he lost it.
Within days.
He lost it he lost his monetization because of reused content.
Oh,
And he's giving the explanation.
Wait, what do you mean by reuse content?
So I'm going to explain it. So he's complaining about him using reused content, et cetera, et cetera. And it turns out that what the dude did was he was apparently using like trucking videos, other people's videos, and he was just running them. And they could have been an hour long. It would be like truck crashes or truck safety videos. And so he was reusing content. It wasn't
So
like
copyright
this.
claims?
No, it wasn't copy. It was just like YouTube is like, wait, you're
I
just
see that all
running
the
other
time,
people's
though.
shit here all the time.
I watch a lot of body cam videos, and you'll see
Yeah.
the same ones over, and some of like the bigger shows will use other people's clips, but then they'll fucking black out their watermark or their
Yeah.
tag or whatever.
Huh. I don't
But,
really
you
know.
know.
I mean, I just think that like like I get it now why some content people who make videos and shit like Doom or something like. I also get now why they don't necessarily go live or have to go live and try to make super chat money or something like that. First of all, the
AdSense.
the people that subscribe to their channel are not necessarily live viewer people necessarily, but the money they're like the money I'm seeing on YouTube with these fucking with the AdSense, it's so much more than I thought. I know that it's way less than what it used to be,
If you get a lot of views, yeah.
but bro, if you get like nice couple 100,000 views on some of your videos, dude, it might
and
do
that's
some fucking cheddar.
You know what? You're probably
dude.
right on that because a lot of them I noticed have started. You know, when someone swears, they fucking mute
Yes.
it or fucking beep, 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 and
Right.
it's like because there's if you say fuck even on YouTube, sorry,
There's
I
so
think
yeah.
you get in trouble.
Well, no. So what happens is there's like they have like a
In
thing
the
where,
shorts.
you know, the shorts is one thing, and then the long form videos that like there's
Clips, yeah.
clip there's like a anything more than 8 minutes is a little bit different than things that are less than 8 minutes, and then also like if you swear in the first few seconds or minutes, it gets monetized differently. So I've had two videos. So I have three videos technically. You know, the Larry David one, the one Dice talking about Mar, and then the one Dice talking just about like social media. The one Dice talking about Mar, it has very little cursing in it anyway. So I didn't do that. I didn't censor it or anything. I put it up and it like hit a good algorithm and it's doing really well. It's like 250,000 views or whatever. I censored another one and it's not doing as well. It's doing worse actually. It's not as compelling of a story. The clip's not as compelling, but I put the subtitles on and I censored it. The difference is the one when I uploaded the Bill Maher one, it gave me a green monetization like on upload or whatever, so it was cleared. The Bill Maher, the second one I made, the one just him talking about social media, I uploaded it and it gave me a yellow monetization, meaning it was not being showed by all sponsors, whatever, all advertisers. We're not using it.
So the
I
algorithm
reviewed it,
Didn't like it.
but I reviewed it. See, and it triggered a yellow at first. I reviewed it, and within 24 hours, it went to full monetization, which is good. So I don't know. They've got these filters and stuff like that. They do all the kinds of things, but a lot of the times, I still anyway. So I don't really know. I don't know. So, but
Yeah, I don't get it either, man. I didn't even know. I didn't think about it like you did. You were just saying how they probably make a lot of money, or not a lot, but a decent amount of money just on the ads. And because I have premiums, I don't see ads, so I don't even think about
no,
the
but
ads.
see, that's another thing too. If you watch it, they get money also.
Oh.
You know that? So there's two sections that your AdSense hits from. It hits
Just because
or
I
two or
saw
three
it
sections.
or clicked it.
Yes. So if you're premium, you get like they still pay you for it.
Okay.
And then if you see the breakdown. Like each video will show you how much money you made from premium, how much you made from AdSense, and then like mid reel clicks or something like that, or
Interesting.
mid reel ads or whatever. So yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know how you're not on premium on YouTube. By the way,
I
Come
literally.
on. Not you.
YouTube
I'm
sent
just
me
saying in general.
YouTube sent me my first super chat check. I got made. You have to reach $100 threshold, and it took me 2 months, and I got the $100. First thing I did was buy YouTube Premium with it.
Yeah, I mean, because for me, I
It's
just
brutal.
hate ads. I hate it. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's-
pay a lot of ads on other shit. Fucking, thankfully, YouTube, I don't. But there's even Amazon now. They got ads. And
I'm
not
about
paying
the
for
only
that shit.
yeah, I know. You know what? We never watch Amazon
Bro.
Prime. Like I can't remember the last time I've watched it, but I pay for the non-ad tier. But I'm also
man.
the only person I know that pays for Rumble Premium.
Oh, I did up until
Never
recently.
heard of that.
So the same day I got my direct deposit from YouTube, I took a shower. I had my JBL speaker hooked up to my computer, and I went in the shower. I hit play. I walked in. I'm not joking. I came back. I was dressed. It was an 18-minute clip. I mean, it was an 18-minute ad I was in. I was in an 18-minute ad. I thought.
And that was on Rumble?
No, on YouTube.
on YouTube.
The it's like some fucking AI story.
Well, I
You get
think
what
the
I'm saying?
creator of that can put where they want their ads. So they must have
They
done
can,
that to fuck
they
you.
can, but I'm just saying that like an 18-minute. They're not putting. I'm not like I can put an ad somewhere, but I can't choose how long the ad is. Like this
Mint
is YouTube do
diggity.
that.
I got Rumble Premium. I ain't watching them crazy commercials.
But-
Rumble,
but I-
Rumble was like I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember, but AMC,
Oh yeah.
where Breaking Bad and all that stuff aired, that was originally like the counterpart to TCM. They didn't have ads either, and then they
American
started
Movie
putting in ads,
Classics.
but there was no editing. They just threw them in the middle of stuff, and that's exactly
yeah.
what happens in Rumble.
Well,
Rumble, I
Rumble
get
is
the same ads. It's for
yeah, it's like the gun.
the gun, the pepper ball fucking gun.
Yeah.
It's
They've got
you know,
so they run the ad twice every single time. If you're logged in, if you're not logged in, they don't run the ad. You know that? So if you go on your desktop right now, you go watch a Rumble video, you're signed out. You go watch a Rumble video, it will not show you an ad. You sign in, it'll show you 2 ads in a row.
that's the reverse of YouTube.
It's fucking garbage.
I only
Like if I
watch.
click a YouTube ad, if I click a YouTube stream on X, I'll get commercials, and if I open the app, I won't get any.
Well, yeah, but I'm just thinking to myself, it's because if you're not there to hit skip, doggy, 18 minutes, and it's
That's
like
crazy.
it's like this Chinese, it's like this story of like this Chinese prince. It's the weirdest thing. It's a story.
Did you learn anything?
It's about this Chinese prince who gets banished from the city, but he's like the heir to the throne, and
Sounds like the last emperor.
it's
Was
like
it,
it's like the last emperor. I mean,
Was it Tony the fucking LED light guy? Like, I'm
oh no,
Tony.
yeah, fucking dude, that guy's hilarious. Dude,
He's the best.
he was in China with iShow Speed,
I
and
saw that.
and the guy owns a sign company and gives him the most garbage little tiny little red
Yeah.
sign. Like, here, iShow Speed. Here you go. Boom.
He gave
It's like
him
this very
3
sign.
signs, and they were
Oh,
all
okay.
plugged in on a fucking gondola over the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
piss ocean.
God, the Chinese were so fucking racist to him, dude. And then people are going around with this iShow Speed shit. They're like, look, iShow Speed single-handedly disproves leftist theory or left Western world theory of Chinese propaganda and stuff like that. I'm like, no. You see 10,000 people following him. Half of those people are just following him because the crowd is just walking that direction. That's the strength of Chinese propaganda.
Yeah.
Did you
I don't
see
think they're
the
racist,
Mersh?
They just don't know black people.
Mersh
are
had a
racist.
video up last night of some guy. I don't know if it was last night, but he had a video up of some guy in China, a black guy, who's a famous YouTuber.
That's who we're talking about.
And
Yeah.
and the kids came up to his car and gave him the KFC bucket with the
They
banana
gave-
in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Gave the KFC bug with a banana, and another one gave him a fucking bouquet of cotton that was still on
And
the stem, and he started picking it right away. He's like, "Why y'all give me cotton?"
And,
And the
yeah,
comments were like,
it's
"Straight
all-
to work."
He knows.
You think it's a
all-
setup though? You think it's a work or
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, it's been his thing the whole time.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah,
knows it's part
all
of the
fake.
charm.
I
It's part of the
dated-
charm.
I dated a
Drew's the
Chinese
one who
girl
pisses me off.
for a very long time. She graduated from Peking University, and I will tell you that
Peking duck.
the Chinese are very racist people,
Fuck yeah, dude.
and among themselves more than
Yeah.
anything else.
Cantonese
They even
versus
hate their own. They,
Yeah,
they're
Can-
Right,
from a
the
different-
Mandarin
different
speakers
province.
versus the Cantonese.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
trash.
you're dumb.
You dumb.
I do a good Chinese voice.
Yeah, you dumb. But I mean,
dude.
you know, some of the
Schmuel
shit.
fucking lighting up a blunt. Let's go.
No, it's
mean-
just a cigar.
I know.
These are my
I'm trying to trigger Dave so he lights up a blunt.
I promised the wife that I would quit smoking cigars when I ran out, and somebody ordered me a box of 100, and I just got them today. So
And I'm smoking this stupid, retarded gay shit. You guys are smoking real man stuff.
Yeah.
I quit smoking on January 1st.
I only do
so-
man
congratulations.
stuff.
But now I'm
There's a
smoking
lot-
this dumb
That means
thing.
he only fucks men in the ass
There's
look
a-
with
at
the candlestick
robot dick.
in the
There's-
lobby.
There's a lot of femme stuff that goes on with these guys on the web. You'll worry too much about too many things.
What are you talking about? Fem stuff.
No, I mean, I'm very secure in my sexuality. I've
Yeah.
been with
I
my
was
wife for
seeing my friend Mint Diggity with berry cherry cream diet Dr. Pepper today. I mean, come on.
Dude, I'm so
actually-
comfortable with
that's
my
pretty good.
sexuality. Dude, you should see all. I mean, I'm so comfortable sucking dick. It's not even funny.
Hey, man, be proud. Stand up.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, Dave. Don't make you a bad person.
I didn't say it made me a bad person. I'm
Some
just
people
saying
like
it
vanilla ice cream. Some people like
makes me
sucking dick.
comfortable with my sexuality. The fact that I'm straight, I'm comfortable with being straight and saying how much dick I suck all the time.
Right.
Because I'm comfortable with being straight.
Yeah. When people start, if they think that's like they got you by calling you gay.
I gotcha. I used to love the.
Oh no, am I in trouble?
So one of the she actually died a couple of years ago at a young age, but she used to tell a story about
Trachtenberg?
her and her friend going to Egypt, and apparently, you're only gay if you take it. That was their.
You only get. Well, dude, Muslims are fucking disgusting. Like,
Clip it.
bro, like I'm not even joking. There's all like Muslim men don't get catheters and like the shit bags because other Muslim men will fuck it.
What do you
Wait,
call
what?
it? Let's not.
jail.
Can we? Yeah.
jail.
Can we move on from that and not really go there? But yeah, that's great.
Skip that.
Yep. So, fuck a shithole, man. Go and fuck a shithole. A different shithole.
Like
The
bag.
You guys
or,
remember
like, the
Lawrence of
hole?
Arabia? Mm-hmm. So
I know Lawrence.
So
I know Lawrence Arabia. He lives down the street from me.
the deal with him was long before that the movie came out. He was in World War One and was taken hostage
It's when you were born, right?
by like the Turkish or somebody like that, and they fucked the shit out of him
Well,
constantly. It was like their way of degrading him.
yeah. Fuck him in their ass, throw him over the bridge. That's how it is.
So
I have to admit, I've never seen Lawrence of Arabia.
great movie. It's one of my faves.
I
It's
was
very
thinking about-
long, but it's one of my faves.
I was thinking about watching it just the other day because I was like, wait, shit, I've never seen that.
Did
really
Liam
should
post it
check
on his YouTube yet?
No, I'm pretty sure it's it's not a what do you call it? It's not out of copyright. I was
Okay.
no, I'm thinking about like we talk about Liam, right? And we talk about like getting monetized and all this stuff. I mean, some of these guys are like they're desperate to get monetized, but nobody watches their channel. So the question is, what's the point? I mean, are you going to make enough to make it worth it?
We were talking about that the other day. It's like you got nothing, but you just want to get paid. What are we paying
No,
you for?
it's-
Because some of these guys have they're getting paid, and I still think the same thing. Like, why are we paying you? Why are people paying you this? I won't name any names, but you know what I'm talking about.
It's people don't understand that getting monetized is half the battle. The other half is getting people to pay you. It's arguably the harder half of staying in the game. The only disservice that I would say, I'm like a culprit of this also, and I see it in my numbers versus let's say even Schmuel's numbers, which is Schmuel's 100 and something subscribers are all subscribers that have subscribed to him through a specific thing like a Dabbleverse kind of a thing, and or found him through live streams, which means that he's always gonna have a pretty live, a decent live audience because all those people are there to subscribe for that.
And
Most of
I
my
would-
subscriptions
can I
are
just
from
interject for a
clips.
second?
I'm just saying most of
Real
mine are
quick?
from clips. So people that subscribe to me are there to see clips mostly.
Right, and let me just interject for a second because honestly, all Schmuel's like chatters are some of like the fucking top tier chatters of the Dabbleverse. So it's even
he's schmoozing.
like once he
He's
gets
schmoozing.
monetized, dude, he's fucking.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure.
No,
sure.
it's funny.
That's
So
some of the charm though that you're not monetized, and that they
I'm-
don't feel pressure.
That's true too. Yeah.
To
I
be
was
here.
I was reading about
Great
this
choice.
the other day and listening to this guy, and it was very funny because he was talking about monetization, like the super chat monetization versus getting AdSense or whatever. And he was like, the AdSense, if you're going to get monetized, that's where the money is, and the super chats are just too hard to work for. And it was pretty interesting. But he was like, among the people at YouTube, they look down at people who have zero monetizations, but they also look down at it's the partner program and the associate program or something. I don't know what they're called.
Well, Twitch is two different ones. I don't know if YouTube is. I know I know YouTube. I'm a partner with YouTube, and then there's an AdSense. There's like all different types that you can kind of select and enroll yourself in, really.
Mm-hmm.
So originally I wasn't gonna do AdSense because I didn't want live ads during my live shows. So I'm like, well, yeah. And then I realized that you can actually switch it off live shows and just have it for your clips or whatever. So because of that, I decided, all right, let me just do it, and I was
Do it.
thoroughly surprised. Now
I mean,
you
even
can't
for
take
your live
AdSense.
shows, do it. Why not?
No, no, no. That's fucking lame.
Fuck. I
That's
mean, if
stupid.
they don't got premium, fuck them. They gotta watch some commercials.
No, no, I mean, it's not. But
Dave,
like,
you're worth $9.95 a month to pay
Yeah,
for.
totally.
no, 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 it's fine, it's fine. But the because you're because first of all, I take those shows down, and then on top of that, that's not worth that much money because I'm not getting
Chad.
many clicks on it. No, but it's true because there's no point of them being up really because you've made their money. It's not going to get a lot of clicks. The stuff, but with the AdSense stuff, you have to hit a threshold of $10,000 to pull it out. So you can't touch it until it's, which I actually kind of like because right now I've made technically $500
Hell yeah,
for
dude.
like only like a month of work almost, and just from the AdSense. But I can't touch it until it's 10,000, and I like it because I'm thinking, dude, that would be a nice little paycheck when I hit it because it's on course to hit in a few months.
I wonder
Almost
how
like a
many
savings
people.
account. It's a
I wonder
savings
how many
account,
people
yeah.
hit it. Like, I wonder how many people are quote unquote monetized but never actually get the money.
I don't know.
How far off are you, Schmuel, for the
I don't. I
monetization?
really don't know. I'm way off.
Me too.
He needs probably about 2,000 more watch hours and like 300 more subs.
I was surprised how many watch hours it takes, and then
It's
I think
fucking
you were
tough.
telling me, Shmuel, that it might not be just actual hours watched, but it's if so many people watch, then they do some kind of fucking math. And
No,
it's
we were
divided
saying that a
by-
watch hour is an individual, right? So it's not the amount of streaming. If I get 15 people in my chat and they watch it for an hour, that's 15 hours. Not
That's what I was saying. I thought I thought it was like you have to be on for that amount of hours.
Oh,
they
right.
say.
No. It's
Yeah,
the amount
Shmuel
of
was
it has to be one.
teaching me about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Right.
one. Yeah. So
It's crazy. That's even better though. So if you have like 100 people in your fucking chat or just watching live, that's like, and you're on for an hour.
it's it's a lot of people, but I was thinking like I don't know if Brennan is doing AdSense or whatever, but
Probably not because he's stupid.
right, but it's so hard to. So then that means that he's got to be there for 2 hours every day. He's got to dance to the tune of the chatters. You've got to do all that stuff, and he's obviously in it for the money. But then again, he doesn't seem that he's ever done anything. I don't know. He always fights that, so he's always fought the money stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't
know,
like
like
anyone
he's
talking
smarter.
about his numbers. The numbers are a problem if you talk about it with him because he knows better than you, most likely.
I had his numbers up the other day just to break balls. His view thing, and it's pretty neat because he's got there's like it's a graph, and then there's a red line that goes over, and the red line is just going down. And Shuli's has actually
when was
gone
that?
down and then gone back up. So
When was his red line going down? Was it like
as
was it
of
a
March
noticeable period?
26th. So
It's weird to see like I'm trying if you could think of like what he was doing then and it went down. Like
it's
but that
yeah.
was,
What
that was
happened?
when he went? That was the MAGA shit, right? Or was that before or after?
I don't know. He does a lot of peaks and valleys. So he had like
hey, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Alrighty,
See
buddy.
you guys later.
All right, man.
Good show,
Later, bro.
Fun time.
he had a bunch of he was doing well, like he was even for a long time, and then he had a real serious drop off for a while, and then it came back up, but it didn't come back up to the level it was before, and it's been dropping down. But I'm not really. I get obsessed with all this shit because my feeling is that there's a lifespan on all of these YouTube channels. I was watching a chick the other night who does a 2-hour tutorial on OBS, and it's great. And she was making shit tons of money, and she hasn't posted anything in like a year. And so, I don't know what that is. And then I was watching somebody else.
Well, I'm sure
I bet-
some people make their nut and they're like, "Fuck, I just made like whatever there is a large amount to them." They're like, "Oh, I made fucking 20 grand off this shit. I'm done." That's more than I make in a
Yeah,
year.
but you make 20 grand. It's never, no matter what you make, it's never enough.
No, but people are
You
stupid,
know,
and some people, 20 grand, 30 grand, 40, or whatever is a lot of money.
right? No, no, no. It is. But usually, what happens is when you make it, you want to keep making it.
I would think
You
that's what I
know,
would do.
um, but and I was watching one woman who's she's a vlogger, but she does a lot of other stuff on different cameras and equipment. But she did one on the Omen Pocket 3, which is the camera that I use, and her stuff is great, but it's definitely filled with a lot of she'll talk about a product and she's good because she'll shit on it at the same time. But other people, you can tell, oh man, DJI gave them this product, and the reason why
Yeah,
this show is out there is because they're waxing poetic about how great it is, and they're not telling
paid
you about the problem,
endorsements. Yeah,
right? And the affiliate link and stuff. Let's switch them in a minute because I
let's do it, bro. Whatever you got.
wanted to go over to Carlos Danger here for a sec. So Carlos is
Yeah, Carlos Danger. Send him the link.
I've sent Carlos the link so many times. Frank, I heard any of the stuff in that Hackverse subreddit. I don't know if we're talking. There was an earlier conversation here about Sheckler, and he may come popping. He may pop himself back up, but he hasn't been
Yeah,
around since the last time, and then everybody was coming after him for those
yeah, he kind of dipped after his text messages or his Twitter tweets from fucking 10 years ago were put out. How he was trying to get younger ladies stuff. And then
Yeah.
asking actual people like, "Hey, send me a picture of you when you were in high school." Like that's a fact. He was DMing girls like, "Hey, what'd you look like in high school?" That's weird.
And Carlos Danger at Frank Ray brought a lot of heat onto himself for filing a false copyright claim against Sheckler. I didn't know that he filed a false copyright claim. I think some of the Sheckler stuff is pretty goddamn vicious and untrue. But I also think that the way to counter that is to get your own content up.
Well, yeah, I
Because
mean, Ray definitely has some thin skin and was falling into every trap set by a fucking internet troll. So that's on him for sure.
Carlos, stop interrupting it. Stop interrupting our chat. No,
get
but
get that link.
he definitely has some thin skin. But some of these guys are. I'm blown away sometimes at how vicious some of these guys can be.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and
They'll go at you hard.
I did laugh. I wonder if some of them are just losing power. But Jesse PS suggested that his people come after me, and I got 31 people commenting.
Yeah.
So, and I would have thought it would have been thousands, but
I mean, I think the worst that he would ever do to you is you're gonna get a bunch of coleslaw and pizza mailed to you. That's it.
I got Lemon Party was what I got.
Maybe a bag of lemons then.
I got a lot of Lemon Party stuff, but I also operate out of a commercial facility, so hopefully if they send anything, it'll go there and I won't have to deal with it. But
Yeah.
I
You
know
get a bag
that
of lemons in the mail. You know what happened and who it's from.
I know at one point a comic who we all know was using the Comedy Cellar to get mail at and packages,
Oh
and
yeah.
people fucking started shipping barbells and bags of cement
Yeah, and bricks. Yeah. Yeah.
and told them they
I'm sure
couldn't.
they were very happy about that in their tiny little fucking establishment that people were dropping off and making someone do that. That's crazy to me. Like to me, I wouldn't even think, oh, who am I fucking over here? I'm fucking over the fucking delivery guy. That's it.
Well, somebody, for Mersh, they, went into a local Home Depot or whatever, and they had him deliver a pallet of concrete mix
That's
to his
crazy.
house, or 2 pallets of concrete mix to his house.
That's crazy.
That
I
shit's
mean,
just,
someone delivered a bag of onions to Aaron. Remember? Do you
oh,
remember that?
really? Well, the
Yeah. And then
coleslaw
he
and
made
onions
soup.
and stuff like that is funny. I was on listening one night when Tukey was getting pizzas delivered.
Hmm.
you know? And the only problem, and even Stuttering John, the only problem with that was people weren't paying for it. They were ordering like Chinese food, and they weren't paying for it. So like the
Yeah,
guy would
that's
show up, and they would like you don't want to fuck over some small little delivery guy.
yeah, that's the only people that lose in this is the delivery guy or the fucking place that they got it from. It's no one wins, everyone loses. A lot of the shit ends up with a lot of losers. You know?
Yeah. So opinion, who seems to have a lot about me. Why are you trying to rattle the hornets? At your age, you should be relaxing. This is relaxing.
Who
Sitting
who you
back,
trying to
smoking a
rattle?
cigar. I don't know.
Opinion.
I
Who's
don't
he
know.
rattling? I don't get it.
Oh,
Oh,
can't believe you
he's
know who
saying Jesse
Jesse
P.S.
P.S. and Mersh are.
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm not dead. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you watch the Dabbleverse podcasting guild right behind you. I mean, you
Yeah.
know who these people are. Come on.
And I fucked that up. I meant to put Dabbleverse Podcast Guild, and I put podcasting, and I don't remember where I did the original sign.
I like it either way.
Um,
But I
but
mean, one of the main guys in Dabbleverse is fucking older than you, KB. He's like
mm,
what, 67?
I think
Something
he
like that.
no, I don't think I think he might be 2 years older than me. I don't think he's a
Uh,
lot older than me.
he's in
One of
his
the funny
60s.
things is, so I have this Dabbleverse Podcasting Guild, and then I have another one that says approved by the Dabbleverse Podcasting Guild, and I put that up, and somebody got all pissed off because how dare I put that I was approved by anybody, let alone the Podcasting Guild. And
you you have to check with the whole
I
chat.
those yeah, and it just like and that was my feeling like yeah, I'm gonna have to go check with the rest of the podcasters in the guild and see
Yeah,
who was approved and who wasn't. So it's fucking funny people,
you
man.
actually should start that. That might not be bad. Try you grift the grifters.
Well, the problem is you'd never get anybody to you might get a contribution the first month and then you'd wind up doing all the work and then they'd never fucking pay again and still
Yeah,
expect you to do whatever the work was that was involved.
yeah.
Um,
Our first,
so
our first inductionation would be fucking Chad, right?
oh man,
Get him in the
Chad.
guild.
So Chad, yeah, um no, it was you, right? Yeah. And
Yeah,
man, so I had been told that Chad had called the Funny Farm, the comedy club in Niles, to try to get John canceled. And Chad denied doing it. And then I think it was you who told me he took down the tweet with the
yeah. Because I asked
denial.
him because I was talking to you and you had told me that no, he called. So I asked Chad. I said, hey, did you call? I heard that you had called to get John's show canceled from the Funny Farm, and I said, is there any truth to that? And his response was zero truth. But then he deleted the whole thing. So I stand to think that he was lying. But
Like, yeah, I said I stand behind that.
I
And
believe you.
then I thought the funny part of the Funny Farm story was is that they liked having John there and they would have him back,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I didn't say that part to him, but that's the truth. Like they told you, the guy told you. Actually, no, it was the opposite. Because Chad was trying to get him canceled. Like, oh, he's gonna ruin your club. Blah blah blah. No, he brought in more people. We sold a ton of alcohol. It was fantastic. Like,
Yeah, and the people who came apparently were very cool and they were spenders. So they bought dinner, they bought drinks during the show. They were really nice. And I think there were about 50 people. Now, I don't know what their usual show count is. So, but I guess 50 for Niles, Ohio, not bad, you know? They enjoyed it. And look, I'm happy to
yeah.
see John. I'm happy to see John out there and doing it. I think that's great.
But here's the problem with Chad is that, and I don't even, I like Chad. I'll say it. But he just fucks himself over every chance he gets because he definitely did that. And then he lied about it. So, like, in the long run, he's just losing people because they catch on. It takes some people longer than others to figure out that he's just lying. And then they're like, what the fuck, dude? Just admit you did it and say you did it. Why not? What's the problem?
Wait, but Chad never lies.
That's right, Lizard. Yeah,
I think
Dang Lizard
he
is so true.
he is definitely a man that steps on a lot of rakes. That's for sure. It's
So,
almost
wait,
like he
bring up
seeks them out.
opinions chat was pretty spot on, too.
I appreciate Chad for his content, but he's easily the most hypocritical guy I watch from opinion.
I
Um,
think a lot of people would like him more if he was just honest with and not being so hypocritical. Yeah, you called it because in his mind, John was trying to cancel him, so he tried to cancel John. Just fucking own up to it, bro. Like your lies get you. I mean, we all learned this as children.
right, but he also and he gets too caught, but he'll get caught up in the lie. Like
Yeah.
I don't think it was John that got his Patreon canceled.
No. No.
Only because, well, for several reasons, but not the least of which is I think John is too stupid to have gotten his Patreon canceled. Um, but I firmly believe that Chad believes that John got his Patreon canceled. And so anything he does to John now, he thinks is legitimate.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying is that like he is easily fooled. I don't know. I mean, I am too. I've fallen for some people's shit on the internet. It's the internet. It's, like from an older generation, you don't, sometimes you're like, you think people are not lying to you, but they're fucking lying to you. But it happens. But he doesn't get that. He thinks that anything that anyone tells him is truth. It's like, bro, someone's lying to you. No, like, who told him John got his shit canceled? Because how does he
Right.
know otherwise?
Cement Diggity says, how'd you catch him in a lie? You don't even give a source. Secondhand news, hearsay. Here, HEAR, just to be a John dickwad.
No, but
I
Schmuel talked to the guy.
I did not talk. No, I did not talk to the owner of the club.
Oh,
I but I have it, my source, and I shared that with a couple of people to confirm it, and so it wasn't something that I just pulled out of my ass.
so a reliable source told you.
Yeah, it's very reliable, and never been steered wrong in the past, and I would be willing to, yeah, like I said, that's why I stood by it, you know, and
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so Mint Diggity is right. It is secondhand news, but there's also a clip of Chad saying that he called the club.
yeah, because I know he did with the Columbus gig that Ray had, he tried to get that canceled, which got canceled because it just didn't sell tickets. But
I just feel Chad gets worked up so much that he probably does do this shit. Like, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't know.
yeah, I did laugh because somebody said, somebody else who was in on this said something like, yeah, he called trying to get it canceled, and then, oh, look, if you're stuck for a comedian on Saturday night, I mean, I could be there. I'm available. So
No.
I don't know.
Wait, Opinion has another long chat. Maybe read that. I don't know what it says, but it seems like it's probably pretty
Sure. Let's do that. Opinion Frank. I used to not like him during the Kumia country. I liked him a lot during the redemption arc. Now he's terrible to me. He tries to make content with MKE and then said he wants to fuck Mazzy. What the fuck?
good. He is all over. Yeah, he's very disjointed.
He doesn't, yeah, that's the thing is he doesn't, I feel like he doesn't know who he wants to be. So he tries to be everything.
Yeah.
And then,
And I get it.
most,
I get it. He's trying to do something, and I get it. He's making content. We're talking about him, and like I don't mind Chad. I think he's probably a nice guy. That's what people have said, but I also heard he's not a nice guy. So I don't know what to believe.
right. Tuna Town.
Tuna
The
Town.
club owner's wife canceled the show. That's a fact, Jack. That's the Atlantic City show, which is different than what we're talking about here. Um, I have I have
Mr.
an
Blue
opinion
Sky.
about. I have just opinions about that. Um, and Mr. Blue Sky, I like the redemption arc, but I stopped because of the hype train. To be honest, see, the problem was he was on a redemption. This is my thing. Is like he was on a redemption arc. Just my personal opinion. He was on a redemption arc, um, but he wasn't doing anything to be redeemed. Right? Like he he wasn't changing his behavior to continue that arc. He just went back to doing the same old shit. Um, and Dr. Chow, you guys are 10 times more invested in Chad's life than he is, and that may be the problem.
Yeah.
You
Just
know?
like It's probably the same thing as Dr. Chow's more invested in Ray's life than Ray is. It's the same difference.
Right. And it's like Aaron Imholt, right? The the guys are kind of talented. I don't, whether Chad's talented or not is an issue for another time, but it's like
We've
the
talked
guys are
about this one time.
talented, but they're
There's
also
a talent to it.
self-destructive.
Yeah, there's definitely a talent to it. Like you and I had talked about this once before. Like to do a show by yourself for 2 hours, there's a talent. I don't know if it's good or not, but there is a talent to it, right? Or so yeah.
I mean,
In
look,
their own right, they're all talented.
there's definitely a talent to it because I could not get on here and speak for 2 or 3 hours and have people actually listen, right? There might be one or two people, but they're insane or they're my family. And you got guys like Melton, Aaron, that Ethan Ralph guy. I mean, they'll get 50, 60 people. Mersch is another one, you know? Self-destructive as fuck, but I think Mersch is talented. Like
Right.
Mersch can do
That's what we
this.
were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
talent versus. I mean, God bless them. They're making a living, right?
Yeah, I would. Well, I don't know about merch these days. Frank, if there was a way to find out, I'd bet every dollar that Chad is constantly trying to get people in trouble behind the scene, and I'm sure he has 100 burner accounts to help him with this. Um, I can't say that I disagree with Frank. And Frank's next line is, sadly, there's no way of knowing that. And I agree. I agree
I
there
don't.
is no way, but I think using the magic 8 ball analogy, all signs point to yes.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think Chad's trying to go after the fans or the chatters because he's sent out a lot of lanyards and T-shirts, and so like he knows a lot of people's information and he doesn't do anything with it. So maybe other people that he thinks have wronged him, I think is where that line is. He goes after the people that have wronged him in his eyes, in a
Look,
way.
I would argue he wants to be liked, but he doesn't know how to be liked, you know?
And he is likable. A lot of people like him. He has a likable factor about him.
So met him in AC, talked to him, nice guy,
Yeah, exactly. Like
Like
you've said it. Yeah, he's a nice
we
guy.
goofed around, and then he gets on the air and he's like, Elton's lying to me. This one's happening. And it was like they offered him to go to Hackmania out of I don't want to say out of kindness, but it was part of the redemption arc, right? And instead of he didn't think about it. Like he didn't process what the offer meant.
Would have been a
It
great
was
move if he did it too.
right because these people would have loved him,
Yeah,
you know?
because he
And
is
that's
likable.
right.
I mean, he's done a bunch of nefarious shit, according to a lot of people. Right? He's done a lot of crimes in the eyes of the Dabbleverse, but people still watch his show. He still gets a lot of views. And if he then did the fucking redemption, heel turn and went and hung out at Hackmania, shit, come on.
But he may not know anything else other than being, a shit guy. Like he may not know anything else.
Yeah.
Dang Lizard, I thought the redemption arc was made up so Chad would gain confidence. So he would put out more ridiculous content, and then some started to take it serious. Well, Chad started to take it serious, and then he was also people were following him, people were sending him super chats.
That's the
Um,
best thing about Chad, though, is like, Dang Lizard is not wrong. It is a fake thing that people started saying to him, and then he leans into it and takes it on as if it's his own. I think that's one of the good things about Chad. He's very easily.
Opinion, Chad is definitely likable. He surprisingly has a lot of women in his chat. He's not a bad looking dude, and you
What are
know,
you gay? What are you gay,
personally,
son?
yeah. Well, personally, like I said, when you meet him, you're like, he's not a bad dude. Like when you meet him, but it's the things he does in the dark that really scare me. Frank, I'd also bet Chad was given sexual favors for spots and possible movie roles. Run the Sean McCarthy Swordsman clip. So somebody said to me, yeah, that
What movies has Chad been in?
some comedian said to me, and it's a real low level comedian. that everybody knows that if you open for Schwartzen, you got to give up the ass. And I'm like, I don't, I don't know that. I don't know that. I know Chad always does walk funny when he comes back from a Schwartzen gig. Dang
But I
lizard.
mean, put yourself in Chad's position. If a fucking rich comic wants you to open for him, and he's got a lot of people views, and there's maybe a possibility you might one day just by hanging out with Swartz and get into an Adam Sandler movie. Why wouldn't you? I'd do it. No, I'm not saying I'd get fucked in
No,
the
I
ass,
mean,
but
look, I hope it works out. Dr. Chow, you're misreading or mishearing what we're saying, which is so you're basing it off things he does in the dark that made up. No, these things aren't made up. I mean, he's gone after people. We know that he's gone after people. He's struck people. He's done a lot of shitty things to a lot of people. Um, and, the problem, you never know. Sorry about that. I never know. Like when I heard the whole Bahamas story where somebody called up and reported him and he wound up going to jail or whatever.
ski
I
mask.
thought that was fucking with him, but apparently he'd done a lot of fucking with other people, you
No,
know?
ski mask. I mean, people do fuck with Chad, so I get why he is paranoid about people fucking with him because people do fuck with him. So yeah, I mean, Chad's not wrong in a way because we don't really know if Chad has done any of this.
No,
I
we do
thought,
know that he struck people. I mean, Cardiff has pretty much put out um, the facts, Jack. But the dude was scared in Zoom traffic caught. The fuck is he doing in the dark? Well, that's the thing, and the
it's a
reporting
good point.
people and all that stuff. So yeah, so this goes back to the ski mask thing. And I was on with oh, his last name is Neff, Jeff Neff, maybe Jim Neff. He's a friend of Dave Sowers, and he told me the story, and it was of Chad getting busted in the Bahamas, and it was fucked up. I mean, it's funny as fuck, but it's also fucked up. I bet. Um, so Chris Mack, Ski Mask called the cops on Chad in the Bahamas because Chad had been going after Fenz's kid, allegedly trying to send the Child
Yeah,
Protective Services over.
a-
Oh,
and
I didn't know about that
That's
part.
true. That's a very true statement. He was doing some weird shit with Fens, and Fens left the fucking internet basically after that because he's like, I don't want this shit happening to my kid.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's the thing with having kids, and here's the woman I love. KB, I get shit for being kind to another human being. I'm not out there fucking guys for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
that's your problem, KB. If you were,
Do you have
so
music playing in the background, or am I hearing
no,
shit?
I'm in a, like I said, I'm in a commercial facility and somebody
Oh,
is out
okay.
front playing music.
No, you're
And
good. I was
it's,
like, is that my end? Because I couldn't tell if it was
no,
you or you.
I always laugh because all these guys are like, when it comes to this particular mic, the guy's like, well, if you're in a quiet room, you wouldn't have anything, and with the denoiser and stuff. And I'm
Oh,
like,
right.
this is as quiet as it gets, but
Do you have the StreamYard settings
I
on?
I dig the vibe. Um, why
I
is
don't
it
mind
really
it. I
that
don't mind
bad?
it.
Hold on
No,
a
no, I don't
second.
mind it at all, dude.
So
No, but
last
forget what I said.
year, and I plan to do it again this year. I'm gonna reduce mic background noise. Last year, I was doing streams from my backyard with Pat Dixon.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Pat Dixon, Schmuel's friends, he can change and be a better person, but not Chad because he doesn't kiss Schmuel's ass. LOL, it's quid pro quid. Um, I'm gonna guarantee you one thing: fucking Pat Dixon has never kissed my ass.
Yeah, yeah. You
um,
obviously don't know Pat.
yeah,
You didn't kiss anyone's ass.
Pat does not. I what do you call it? Pat's honest to me, and in the conversations we've had. So, and Pat and I can disagree about things. So, there you go with that. But so, yeah. So anyway, so I did Pat's show last year, and then I had talked to Dave, and Dave wanted me to do a stream. I was actually originally going to call it Cricket Cast because I was doing them from my backyard. And it's like, I can't hear them when I sit there, but when I listened to the podcast, the cricket sounds are just fucking overwhelming in the background. But I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
liked it.
Yeah, and I know what you mean. I used to
Mint
stream
diggity.
from my backyard too.
Schmuel rides all his buddies' cock.
Oh shit.
Okay, whatever that means. Um, and Mint, no, but it's a friendship thing. It is, but it is, right? Like, so I know Pat, so um, we can talk. I don't know Chad. Not that I want to become friends with Chad, but like I said, when I met Chad in person, he was a really nice guy. I just didn't expect him to respond to the way he was treated at Hackamania, the way that he responded, you know? And the other part here is you can like or this isn't real. Not that I don't want to say it's not real life. I guess it's real life, but it's like Chad's a character, right? And whatever Chad does, it's not going to affect my life one way or the other. But I would like to see him succeed. I'd like to see all these guys succeed, you know? But I can't ignore the fact that he steps on that we used that before, but the stepping on the rakes all the time always seems to just get himself in trouble, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I don't care if anyone succeeds or not. Like it's nothing to do with my life in the long run. Like if Chad fails or fucking succeeds, I don't give a fuck.
I would no, I'd like to. I don't know. I'd like to say I've known a lot of comics. I was an open micer myself, and I'd like to see people. I'd like to see people make it. I
Yeah, I
like
don't
to
want
see
to see
everybody
people
make it.
homeless. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but like in the long run, you're not here trying to whatever. I mean, we don't really care if he makes money or he doesn't. I don't care.
Right. It's not going to change my life, but it would
Yeah,
make me. What do you call it? Either way, but I would like to see him do it anyway. Pat seems like a really bad person too. I only like KB and MKE from this universe. The latter, his stance on cops in Israel. I think you mean the former, right? Um, but
Pat's a good
uh,
guy. I mean,
yeah,
as good as a guy as we know from anyone else in the Devilverse. What he punched Gio in the face. That's his criminal record, I guess. That's about it. Like,
yeah. I, I don't know.
I
I
guess
don't
he's
know.
got a lot of stories, but if you're gonna believe those stories, then you have to believe the stories about Chad too. So you have to pick and choose what stories about people you hear from other people, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was
Because the people
listening
that don't
to.
like Pat will say like, "Oh, he's a fucking women beater or whatever." Oh, you heard that from someone else, but then they'll defend Chad because, and then they'll say, "Oh, because you heard that from someone else." No, it's all the same. It's all hearsay. We don't know
Yeah. No. The entire thing, and
all of it.
um, he's
Yeah, I mean, people say fucking shit about me all the time in chats and this and that. Like, there's a guy that follows me around in chats saying I DM someone's wife when I'm drunk. It's like, no. But some people probably believe it, right? And so they think of me as this guy that DMs people's wives because one guy said it. No. But we can't believe anything anyone says, I guess, is what the moral of the
right.
story is.
Right. And it also depends upon who she is. And
Yeah,
nice
right.
podcast, stupid. Crumb can barely hear you. Yeah, Crumb, you're
I'm
you.
a little
It's
low.
not you're not low, but you've got like the
I'm
kind
far
of.
away. I was far away from my mic.
We've talked about that
Yeah.
smooth jazz DJ voice,
Yeah, here we go. You can hear
and
me
that's
now,
the
Dan.
yeah. And the thing is, like, I started this podcast with Dave, and Dave is like a rocket ship, and so people want to
No, Dan's
go
always
on.
there to look out for a fucking sound junkie like myself. So thank you, Dan.
Oh, is he?
Is it
Dan's
better now? You hear me better now?
Dan's Dan's another one of those guys. Like I've never met him, but my opinion of him would be he'd be a good guy, right? Like I like him as far as the Dabbleverse and stuff goes, and but Mr. Blue Sky, I don't believe anything unless it's the truth. Yeah, we all think that, um,
I
but
believe what Mr. Blue Sky tells me, though. So if he's lying to me, I'm in trouble.
buy high, sell high. Um, yeah, I don't. What do you call it? Yeah, it's what
I
do you
need
call it?
some
It's just
stock tips,
Sam
actually.
Biblet. Yeah, I'm the Lebanese Mersh. Um, Sam, if you're really Lebanese, here's my story, man. So I went to not DabbleCon. I went to Detroit to see the WATP show, not this past year, but the year before, so it'd be 2023. We stayed in Dearborn, and I went with a friend of mine who's not in the Dabbleverse at all, and we went so we could go to a Detroit game, and then he was going to fly home, and then Mrs. B was flying in. We were going to go to the show together. So Mrs. B and I wound up going to the show. But when we landed in Detroit, um, my buddy had got a call from a detective telling him his brother was dead in his apartment. So it was kind of messed up. But we needed to get some food, and I have never had as good as the Lebanese food in Dearborn was the best fucking Lebanese food I ever had, and I would go back to Dearborn just for that. It was so fucking good, and it was great. It was like grilled vegetables. It was all the shit that I just love.
Aren't they all
So
like muzzies over there anyway? Is Lebanon muzzy?
Muslim, yes,
Yeah.
there are Muslims, there are Christians. Um, there are a lot of people, and most people are just born into the religion that they are. They're not, it's not like people don't really choose this stuff.
I mean, you can choose it once you're of
No,
age.
you can't. I mean, you can, but you can't, because it's a very hard, like, you wind up becoming whatever religion you're born into, you wind up becoming kind of a cultural member of that religion.
Yeah.
The traditions and the family and all that other stuff,
Well, I
It's,
mean, I know a lot of atheists that weren't born atheists, though.
well, I'm one of them, but I still have to go to, you know, christenings and baptisms and bar mitzvahs and all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
and I don't act like an asshole, I don't
Well,
sit
yeah.
there and go, this God is fake. This thing is fake that you're all believing on. And so
It'd be funny if you did, though.
y- yes. I mean, it would be for about 5 minutes, but
I've been to religious events where there are people that are very against it, but they were there. So, and they told us what they hated it, and it's like, oh, cool.
the only time I've ever done anything was I was at a wedding, and it was a very conservative Christian. Uh, the pastor and the family were very conservative Christians, and the pastor started to go off on people. Um, and I was one of the people that he was going off on, and I just walked out. And I felt really terrible because it was somebody's wedding, but it was just the whole thing was inappropriate.
Wait, did he name you or just something?
He pointed me out.
No shit. That's fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, he pointed
You
me. He
have to
pointed.
walk out.
We were friends of the groom, and we had met him beforehand, and he had tried to save us, whatever
No,
the
no.
term is. And I think I might have said something that was a little bit wise assy, and he wound up pointing me out and then pointing out somebody else, and I just walked because I didn't want to become the center of it. So weird, man.
That is weird. I would not be down with that either. Yeah.
It,
Fucking pointing you out in the middle of a service. You're here for a wedding, bro, not to fucking save me. Carry on.
yeah, well, he was, it was a gospel moment, and the chick was actually kind of cool with it, but that's neither here nor there. Um,
I mean,
so
I'm a religious person, but I would never be cool with that. Like, like I respect people for what they believe in. So if I would, I'd be like, no, don't do that. Like I can't imagine.
well, I mean, look, I get it. If you think I'm going to burn in hell for the rest of my life and you want to save me, um, I get it. But this, time and place, right?
I'm not that type of religious. I don't give a fuck about you.
Well, that's not.
I mean, it's a
That's
personal thing.
that's yeah. That's not the
If you
way.
don't believe in it, why would I? I'm not gonna. I mean,
Um,
I probably should, and like my priest would probably tell me, yeah, you gotta change this guy, but I don't. You know.
yeah, what do you call it? Isn't it crazy that conservative past? This is Frank. Isn't it crazy that a conservative pastor tried to save you, but it also probably is also probably vehemently pro-Israel, believes that Palestinians should be slaughtered.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
Or hates blacks or
Frank, I think you've
gays.
got, yeah, you're a little too black and white there. I don't think they want any, whatever. This is the one
That's
thing.
yeah. Maybe you should have said that. Like, no, I'm gay, dude, or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's funny because this same pastor actually got into an argument with another pretty famous pastor who suggested that somebody go to their granddaughter's lesbian wedding. But we could get, that's another time.
I've been to
But then,
several lesbian and gay marriages, and like if yeah, and I'm a Catholic, and my church, I guess, is against it, by their doctrine. But I don't care. Like I have a lot of gay friends. I love them. They're great as long as they're not killing people and fucking doing weird shit like murder. That's the only thing I really care about. I don't
yeah,
care what they're doing. Fuck it.
yeah, I don't get this. The whole Catholic thing just throws me for a loop. I don't get it. In any event,
We can talk
what we
about it
should,
sometime.
well,
I'll try to
yeah,
change your mind.
we can't. No, no, no. I'm happy to
I'm
talk
just
about it.
joking.
I
I
try.
wouldn't want to change your mind. I'm not that type of guy.
I try not to talk about.
No, I don't either. Politics and religion usually are like
No, I don't mind. I
no
don't mind.
goes.
I don't mind talking about either. It's just in this particular stream, I don't. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
No, no.
I don't mind doing a show on politics. I don't mind doing a show on what do you call it? On anything, but not.
I used to deal poker, and like those are the two things that were not allowed on the at the poker table. No religion, no politics.
Well,
Everything was fine.
yeah, because it just
You're not gonna change
degenerates.
anyone's mind, bro.
So I went into, it's funny, because I was, you read all these stories about the person coming in with the Trump hat and causing, it causes a problem and a fight. I was in a restaurant in Jersey, in Shrewsbury, New Jersey. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. And it was only a few weeks ago. And they had one of those signs up, like no politics or whatever. No, it, don't discuss it. And it was right after somebody had gotten into a fight with a Trump hat thing. And
Yeah.
I asked the bartender about it, and she was like, um, they didn't have that wasn't the problem. The problem was apparently that this place tended to be conservative as a bar, restaurant kind of thing, and it tended to have a lot of conservative people in it. And it was also near another place where the United Methodist Charity Center. So a lot of these people would come in and it would just be a fight. And they were like, we just stop.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
It's not good for business.
And Peter Sky Parker, sex and violence. No, sax and violence. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So,
It's true. I mean, because you're not gonna change my mind. I'm not gonna change your mind. And like in the end of the day, none of us care.
yeah. The biggest shame in the world, well, and not the biggest, but one of the biggest shames in the world is what's happened to Lebanon. Lebanon used to be just
I don't know shit about Lebanon.
a beautiful, beautiful country. Well, it's funny because if you look at the flag of Lebanon, it's got an evergreen tree on it, and there are just
Yeah.
none left in Lebanon because they've all been
Oh,
torn
really?
down, and it's been ripped
The
apart by Israel on one side, and you've got Jordan, and you've got the other Arab countries, and
the only
it
thing I know about Lebanon is that they bombed us there in Beirut back in the 80s. That's all I remember.
the worst thing that's happened in Lebanon in the last few years is they
They
had
killed
a
our
ship
Marines.
in the harbor that was loaded with like fertilizer and stuff, and the fucking thing exploded, and it was a huge explosion. It was like megaton explosion, and
Oh yeah, that happened a couple years ago. Yeah.
killed thousands of people and whatnot. And it's a similar thing that actually also happened in what do you call it, in Halifax many years ago.
Nova
Basically the
Scotia.
same thing, yeah. And yeah, there's a guy who wrote a book. The guy in Halifax was a little kid, and he was looking out the window when it happened, and it blinded him for life. And he wrote a book about it and the changes. It's pretty fucking interesting stuff.
How
But
do you write a book if you couldn't see?
mm, He couldn't read the room. He couldn't
Bro,
read the room.
that
And here's
explosion in Lebanon though that you were just talking about was fucking nuts. I see it still to this day on the internet. Just sometimes scrolling through, it'll be like, they'll say it's something different, and they're like, no, that was a Lebanon. What the-
yeah, no, that's look, that's the thing is, that's and that this is my problem with my problem with Americans, particularly leftist Americans and stuff is, like when it comes to the environment and shit, they're all very fucking happy to not have steel plants in Pittsburgh, but they don't give a fuck if they're in Pakistan, you know?
Right.
And then, and
But
then you wonder why those people come here. Go ahead.
no, no, I don't know what I was gonna say. You continue.
No, that's it. So we're gonna wrap it up. I want to keep these things to a couple of hours, and I always say I may come back on later, but I don't know. Um, but Crumb, thank you so much for being with
Yeah, man.
me. And
Thanks
do you
for
have
having
any
me.
plugs?
No.
All right. And I took Dave Sarah's advice, and I am now at Schmuel Buckman, no underscore, at Schmuel Buckman on YouTube. And I'm also at Buckman Schmuel on Twitter. And I was going to do a driving stream today, but and I find it difficult to just talk into the camera. That like I bore myself after 5 minutes. I'm like, how the fuck can anybody listen to it? You know?
I
But
mean, honestly, like I don't think you bore though. You're pretty good. Just stream of conscious fucking driving is good sometimes. So I would recommend it. Yeah,
we'll
do it.
we'll give it a shot. No chat. I'm using the camera that I'm trying to get them to sponsor me. I'm kidding. But the Osmo Pocket 3, which is the little gimbal cam, and I hang it in my car, and it has a wearable mode, and the screen shuts off after it starts recording for about 20 seconds, and it shuts off. So you just talk into it. It's got a great mic that comes with it. Um, you don't see anything, so you're not like answering chat. It's not like I don't know if
Right.
you've ever watched Gino in his car. He's got the
Yeah.
interior light on, and he's answering the chat, and he's in like his Chevy Sprint, hitting
Yeah.
the
And he's
hitting
got
the
his phone
brake.
on a shitty fucking, and it's shaking around. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, this
Well,
doesn't
he's stupid.
this doesn't do that. But I did one day after Felicia got into her accident. I so wanted to do a drive stream and prove that it wasn't the streaming, that it was the answering of the chat that caused the problem. Well,
Totally.
I am going to tell you that doing with it an iPhone, and the iPhone looking back at you, I nearly got myself killed and several other people on the Jersey Turnpike. So I pulled off the side of the road and I just put it all away, and chose not to do it again. And I got
Yeah.
into an accident last week, which was not streaming related, but people insist that it was. So no, Shmuel is so frustrating to listen to. It's hard to be bored. I do
Yeah.
that just for you, my friend. Just for
Uh,
you.
Peter Sky Parker had a good one too. Boring is what people want, and he's not wrong.
Hey,
And then he said we're NPR.
PSP.
We've had
I
that. We've
know
had that comment a bunch. We're
we've
very
had, yeah,
NPR.
the smooth jazz, the NPR,
Yeah.
right? We've got those
I can't
voices.
help it.
Well, I can't do the, you
Yeah,
know,
we're not. We need a soundboard. We need some fucking
no.
drops and some fucking gay music.
I don't really
Yeah,
like. Somebody offered me a Roadcaster. Um,
take
one
it.
of the one of the guys. No, no, no. It wasn't permanent. He was like, "Why don't you borrow?" He's going away. Why don't you borrow my Roadcaster? And and I'm like, "Nah," because then it's like I'll become all caught up in that. But more importantly, it's like I don't need all the drops and stuff. That's what.
No, that shit annoys me on shows. Honestly, I mean, some people do it right, but some people do it really wrong, and those are the ones that bother me.
Thank you, MBS. If you look at only the positive parts of Shmuel, there's literally nothing wrong with him, which I think may be a statement about every single person on the planet. But I'll take any positive comments here.
I honestly think we should keep going right now. I mean, if you don't
Yeah,
have anything to do, let's hang
no,
out for another like 20,
I
30.
do. I think I gotta run.
Okay.
I need to get home, and
Oh, that's right. You're not home. Well,
I'm
you know what?
making.
Let's hook up later. We'll do one later
Make
because I'm ready to go
yeah.
for a little bit later if you want.
Are you? I'm also like I'm suffering from a cold, and my child. I wind up taking the children's NyQuil or whatever. This is I
Oh
don't know
shit,
what the
dude.
fuck I'm taking, because I like it's cool. The pharmacy next door to me is he's Muslim, so it's not hard to find non-alcoholic cough medicines in there, right? But I picked one out, and he was like, he was trying to give me like pills, and I was like, no. For some reason, I feel like if I drink the shitty cough medicine, that's going to work better. And then I got back, and I was looking it up, and it has something in it called like phenylpharine or some bullshit like that. And I was looking up the ingredients, and it's like they're taking it out of drugs because they put it in back in the 20s, and it doesn't do anything. It's
Oh
supposed to be a
yeah,
nasal G congestion, and it doesn't do anything.
Sudafed. Yeah.
So Sudafed's awesome, but the problem with
Yeah. I thought.
Sudafed is
Oh no,
Sudafed
that's
is
the meth one. Yeah.
yeah, Sudafed will fuck you up.
Yeah.
You know what? Do you know what Sudafed is? Sudafed and neosynephrine. You know what their two big uses are these days?
Meth, right?
No. Well,
No.
I mean, aside from meth, medical use,
No.
priapism.
What's
So
that? Oh,
if
dick
you're
stuff.
stuck, yeah, remember the old Viagra ads, like if you have a hard on more than 4 hours
Yes.
or whatever. So the first thing they do is they give you Sudafed. Um,
Unsticks
and
your dick.
little did I know, but and I don't know why I know this, but apparently your sinus passages in your nose and the tissue in your pee pee are the same. They're like
Oh,
spongy and they fill up. And apparently
like cartilage.
that's
Yeah.
the first, yeah, it's the first thing they give you, and then I think they eventually will inject neosynephrine in there.
Oof.
So yeah, but so these are the things that you need to know. Um, so you
Mint
now
Diggity
know
wants
what
to
that
know how
is.
many blue chews you need.
Yeah, I don't need any because I take daily Cialis, and you
Schmuel
know
fucks, dude.
I do. I have a wife with needs. If up to me, I would have given up. I would have given up a long time ago.
Good for
But
you, bro.
I got to
Cheer.
keep that. I got.
Cheers.
Yeah, I
Cheers.
got to keep her happy. Tomorrow's her birthday, and
Mm.
tomorrow she gets the. I don't know if you've seen it. She gets the clay dabbler sculpture that he made of her.
Oh yes, I remember. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Hey,
So
happy birthday, Miss Buckman.
and I sent her a I'm sorry, I sent Clay a DM because like he sent it to me. He sent me the sculpture. I put it up on here, and I could tell that he was a little hurt that I didn't do more
Oh
of it,
really?
like take videos. And I said to him, I sent him a DM and I said, "Hey Clay, the deal is it's for her birthday, and I don't want her to
You
see
want
it
to see it? Yeah.
until we do it. So I promise that I will take a video of it."
Does
Over,
Mrs. Buckman watch
over
the Dabbleverse shit? Is she into this?
Not at all. She has zero idea why I do this.
Okay.
But she
Is she
put,
gonna know who Clay Dabbler is or?
yeah, she'll know who these people. She's enough involved, um, and I'm also a person who can't keep his mouth shut.
Yeah,
So,
I hear you.
the more I did, and I would wind up leaving it out, or I would take shitty video and then complain about shitty video. So, I don't do it. But she's been to, she went to Detroit with me. Um,
Oh,
she's
okay, so she
been
knows
to
the players.
she's been to Atlantic City with me. She knows Ray.
Yeah,
Um, all these people. So she knows everybody.
that's funny,
And
man. I drag
yeah,
my wife to stupid shit like not Dabbleverse, but I like my wife has been to so many comedy shows with me. Like, and she's like, why we have to go to another one? The fuck? I'm like, yeah, but Bobby Kelly's gonna be there, and we're gonna hang out afterward.
exactly. So I'm
Yeah,
making her come to Hackamania with me.
making her come tomorrow with
She's
your Cialis.
she's
Boom.
only going to be there for a few days. And all right, so I'm going to run through some of the chat because
All right.
without the chat we would be nothing. Peter Sky Parker, I'm assuming that that's a pickle and not a cucumber. Um, and Mr. Blue Sky, Mom's birthday is also tomorrow. And my dad's birthday is today. He turned 68.
Happy
Congratulations to your
birthday,
dad. You
Mr. and
know,
Mrs. Blue.
God, I remember being young and thinking 68 was like the end of your life. And now I'm meeting guys in their fucking 80s who are starting businesses. It blows me away. Um, this is from Sam Bibley, and I'm guessing he's directing it at Mrs. B. Does she know who Sam Bibley is? No, not yet, Sam, but she will. I
She
promise
will
she
tonight.
will. KB has met Mrs. Buckman, and KB says, Happy birthday to Mrs. Buckman. Mrs. Buckman's a doll. And mint diggity. Without Schmuel, by the way, she got in with Tio Hank. Tio Hank is the one that took her up in Atlantic City. Tio took her up to Kevin's room for his stream. And she didn't want to go. And Tio's a hard man to turn down. And so it was very funny.
Yeah, that's when I first met you. We were talking. She wasn't with you. You were.
That's right. I was
slot
in the
machine.
casino. We were talking about Dave's show. Cupcake's Corner with American Sex is actually a great antihistamine. Your body makes sure that you can breathe properly so that you can make babies.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Making
there's
babies.
I don't know that it's ever been proven, but there's an association between prostate cancer and guys that never get the poisons out.
No, you gotta get that out.
Sam Bibley, thank you. I love a host who respects the chat. Hey man, if it weren't for the chat, wouldn't be here. And
And half this chat, or most of this chat, is way funnier than we are. So you have to acknowledge them.
exactly, we wouldn't go anywhere. I'd be desperate without it. And oh man, I haven't seen him in forever. Northwest Ken, hey KB.
Hell yeah.
And then
up,
KB
Kenny?
says, hey Northwest Ken.
Kenny's the best.
Mr. Blue Sky, Mrs. Buckman is a sex doll. I think she's more like the George's mom doll in Seinfeld, but she'll take it. She's kind of a cutie. And Mint Diggity, do the math. I don't even know I don't know what math we're doing there, buddy. And Northwest Chem, sup, Crumb. So,
Yeah.
Crumb, I hear that you are a troublemaker. Is that
Oh, yeah.
true?
Totally. No,
You know?
I'm not.
Because I only know you as this very quiet, late night sort of DJ type, and
yeah.
I hear things.
No, I've definitely have caused trouble sometimes in some discords here and there. But just drunk fucking bunch of people yelling at each other kind of shit. That's basically it.
All right,
That's
hold on a
it.
sec.
I mean,
All right, opinion. Can you talk about
whatever
your
you hear
interaction?
it might be true, but you have to take it from who's telling you probably, and then what was the backstory from that time. Because most of the times when I am a dick, it's people coming at me, and I just go back at them hard. That's it.
We'll talk. I think the thing that I got was that you were drunk and being
Oh yeah,
obnoxious.
I was definitely drunk, 100%.
And so I don't know you as that. So it's a
Yeah, no. I mean, because you're not a dick to me.
opinion. Can you talk about your interaction with Chad today? Say he seemed to imply that you just turned away after he called you obnoxious. What were you feeling during that? It's like therapy. So he called me rude. He didn't call me obnoxious, but he said it with a smile, and I said it with a smile back. And we shook hands and we small talked for, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 minutes. But a lot of people wanted to talk to him, but he was very nice. Like it was not contentious at all. It wasn't like we had a score to settle or anything. So,
I think KB sums it up. Crumb gets drunk and squirrely. But I mean, I've always been cool with KB. I mean, a bunch of these people in chat I'm very cool with, and they know me for real.
yeah. And Sam Bibley, Schmuel, you're once a bad young man yourself. We've talked about some of the things that I've done, and
Yeah.
we could definitely we'll talk about them more. But I don't want to spit everything out, and a lot of it I don't not that I don't remember. I mean, I remember it, but it just doesn't come up, right? It's not relevant to what we're talking about. So, um, you know, I don't want to bring it up, but we'll do that.
We will do a stream where we just talk about how like our fucked up drunk
We'll do it. And
Xanax
there's
shit.
always
Because I
there's
got a bunch of off stream shit that I've done fucked up, but
no,
back in the day before I was even on the internet.
this threesome question comes up all the time, because I have a feeling about that. And
Wait, go back to Mr. Blue Skies real quick. He said
uh,
he can
I
vouch
never
for me.
thought it was terrible or mean.
No, one more up.
Oh,
There you go.
I've seen Crumb during his arguing, and it's not bad behavior, really.
You gotta, you know, Mr. Blue Sky doesn't lie. He's one of the most honest people I've ever
Exactly.
met on the internet, honestly.
Exactly. No, I like Mr. Blue Sky a lot. Whatever. Sam, it was me and two ladies. I don't have a problem with being gay or anyone being gay, but the
No.
thought of being naked with another man, done, man. And
If we're not in the shower at the club, yeah, that's a
even
problem.
the shower at the club, man, I don't like that. You know, it's funny.
After a round of golf, you don't want to shower with your buddies?
After basic, do I look like I play golf? After basic training, I was like, I've showered with enough men for the rest of my life, and I used to go to a gym where these guys would just. There were a couple of them, big giant fucking hogs, and they used to just walk around with their swinging. I was like,
Oh no,
it
no, no,
it
no.
it grossed me out. And the thought of, I think it's the thought of being in another man's arms that gives me the creeps
Ugh.
more than anything
Yeah, or
else.
just kissing a dude. No.
Just chat. It's just. I've seen some of those AI videos where they'll have like Melton kissing Aaron or something, and I'm just like,
It makes me cringy. Like I don't mind gay dudes at all, but when I see him kiss, it makes me kind of cringe. Like I'm like, oh god, it's a
yeah.
mustache, dude. That's a mustache.
I have two friends that have been together. It's got to be 25, 30 years, and they do like the little peck every now and then, and even that just like creeps me out.
Yeah,
Or like the one guy patting the other guy on the ass, because I'm like, if you're gonna touch another man's ass, you got to grab that motherfucker, not just pat it. You
stick
know.
a finger in there and I can make it worth it.
Shmuel, you said you're not a feet guy, so what is it? Donk, boobs, anything but feet. Um,
Yeah, who
I
feet weird.
Feet I find gross. I
Yeah,
don't like them. Don't
me
want to
too.
touch them. Don't want to have anything to do with them.
I'll
And
rub them if she wants me to rub them. I'll rub them.
but other than that, look, I love a nice ass. And like breasts, all that stuff. But I, it's always been more to me about. There's something about certain people that are just attractive, and I like that, and then it becomes the personality and stuff. So, and one
Yeah,
of the
I've been
things
with my
I'm
wife for
very independent, so I needed
20.
somebody independent.
I've been with my wife for 23 years, so I'm pretty much I like what I like, and I found it 23 years ago. Yeah,
Right. Um,
it's an ass. It's a
ever
big butt.
pinch a weight? No, I've never done that. I'm just not that. It's not me.
No,
It's
who
not me.
does that? Who
I
does
didn't
that?
even like. I didn't even like strip clubs. I would be
I've
like,
I've
I
been
would.
to 3 in my life. That's
I
it.
just. I'd feel bad for them because I'd be like, nobody does this. I always felt like nobody does this because they want to, and then it's like, um, you're just. I don't know. Whatever you're selling, I'm not buying. But I have known several
No, it's
friends
gross,
who've gotten
dude.
hooked up with strippers, and
No,
it's bad. Dr. Chow, they feel bad for you. It's probably true.
dude. The
Um,
last time I was at a strip bar, fucking the lady took off my glasses, rubbed them in her pussy, and then put
mhm,
them back on my face. And I was so disgusted, dude. I was like, oh my god, get these off me. The fuck?
uh, yeah,
Just took them off, washed them. That's gross,
I
dude. I
wouldn't
don't
have.
want that fucking
I wouldn't have been
skizzes
disgusted.
smizz
I
on
wouldn't
me.
have been disgusted with it. I would have smelled them. I would have been like,
Oh,
I probably
it's so
wouldn't have
gross,
washed them
dude.
for a week.
Dude,
Um,
not none of you saw the strip bar I was at. Okay, it's called in Daytona Beach, bro. Come on now.
I've been, I've been to some
During
pretty
the day.
I've been to some pretty sleazy ones here in Queens,
Oof.
man. But I've had a couple of friends, and I'll tell these stories another time. But on one of them, my buddy was so convinced that the bartender wanted him, that they had like had a connection.
Of
Um,
course.
and
He's
he
delusional.
he was with one of the most fantastic women. I was just everything was great, and he lost it because he couldn't get past this chick, and they wound up the strip club wound up calling the cops on him.
Oh
It was
shit. That is
crazy.
not good.
Yeah, he just kept going back. It was wild, but it was more of a it was funny because you didn't know it was a strip. Like if you were from the area, you knew it was a strip club, but it was right on Queens Boulevard, and it
Oh,
had a very not strip clubby kind of name. And the way it was set up, like you didn't know until you walked in,
yeah,
and
yeah.
when you walked in, you were like, ah. But I used to in
A lot
college
of
for
Russian strippers and hookers in those parts, right?
yeah, no, I don't know about now. They weren't then, but I did. What do you call it? When I lived in Buffalo for a while, and I used to play pool in a pool league, and I played for a place called Flay's Steak Pub, which was a strip club, and it
Wait,
was pretty funny.
Flay's steak?
Flay's Steak Pub, yeah.
Oh, that's
But I
funny.
never like. It's not like I've listened to like Mersh and other people tell strip club stories, and it just wasn't like that. Maybe it was a different time. Maybe I wasn't into it. You know. Um, I don't really know, but it was really like it was almost like a local bar that chicks would strip at, so that you know, guys could come in. It was pretty weird. So
That's what they were. Well, I mean, in Florida, the two I went to in Florida, and then the other one I went to was in San Francisco, and those bitches were double dildo fucking on stage. That shit was crazy.
oh really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't.
like
I didn't. I didn't. I didn't.
scissoring with a dildo in there, dude.
Oh man, I didn't see anything of that. The most disgusting thing I've ever seen was I was at a county fair in
What?
upstate New York 100 years ago, and I saw a chick take one of those, those square flashlights. Remember them big square
Oh
flashlight
yeah,
batteries?
yeah,
She
with the
took the
with the
fucking flashlight
D
and
cell.
shoved it up there. Um, and yeah,
Was it on?
I don't remember. And I was really young. I probably like too young to be in there. I was probably like
Wait,
15, 14 or
hold on a
15.
second. Why were you seeing a stripper at a state fair shoving a flashlight in her couch?
That's what state fairs used to be, man. So
That's
it was
crazy.
like there was this area, and you went behind, and these guys. I was with people. They took me in, and it freaked me out, man. You know,
Yeah,
it it just
that'd
and it
freak
was
out any
not
kid.
not something I need to see. And
You
strip
were
clubs
going
were
there to see
cool
some
when I was.
fucking sheep and cows, and you saw a fucking lady shove a flashlight in her
I thought we
pussy.
were going to see like the sideshow shit. You
Oh,
know,
okay. Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what I thought we were going to see. And you're talking pre-internet, so it was like, I was still looking at the Guinness Book of World Records with the two fat guys on the scooters. You
Right.
know,
Yeah, yeah. The freak show was a little too freaky.
yeah. So,
That's crazy, dude. The Clay County
Buckman,
Fair
what
isn't
was the
like that.
stinkiest piece of snatch you ever got? Chow,
You talking about fishing?
we'll save that question, but I've been there. Um, I've
I've
been
never
there.
been there. I've never had a stinky one.
Man, one time
It always
I,
smells
I
good.
I went into a room one time, like it was a party. I went into a room, and there was just one smell that was just like
Mm,
overwhelming.
no,
I didn't know
no.
what it was. I was out of the room pretty quick, and then I ran into the person someplace else, like at a supermarket or something, and I'm like, oh my god, that's where it's coming from, you know. So
Oh, but you weren't fucking her. So, I mean, yeah, I've smelled gross smelling women, but I think he was asking, like, ones you were fucking.
yeah, one of my favorite stories is
I
in
smell
a
some gross ladies.
supermarket called I was in a supermarket called Edwards, and it's not around anymore in Queens, and there was a woman in there, and she was in full garb from one of the East Asian Middle East countries, and
Burka?
some black guy. We were all like by the eggs or something, and walk up, and man, did she stink! Not fishy, but just stink.
Like
And this
B.O.
and this black guy just birds out. God damn, a woman ain't supposed to smell like that. And I was terribly embarrassed, but I also thought it was one of the funniest things that I'd ever heard. So there we
Dude,
go.
I had a time once where I was in charge of like 5 people, and one of them was a woman, and I had to tell her she had such bad like BO that she smelled like fucking Taco Bell meat. Like it was bad, dude. And it was a confined workspace, and I had to tell this lady like, and it was hard for me as a man to go tell this fat lady that she stunk so bad I had to send her home. That was the worst I've ever had to deal with. Stinky
Yeah.
people.
I worked at a place once where the manager had to take a guy and talk to him about showering and cleaning and all that other stuff,
It's so embarrassing to tell another adult that they stink. Like, dude,
right?
do
Like,
you not know how to shower your fucking pussy? What the fuck?
how do you do that? All right, I'm bailing. Remind me to
All right,
tell
man.
you about the next time when we talk about stinky people. You got to remind me to tell you about the twins I went to grade school with.
All right,
All right,
twin stinky twins. It's in the
stinky.
books.
Well, maybe not stinky twins. Maybe stinky one of the twins.
All right, one
And
stinky
then
twin.
uh, the Dr. Chow, the Mega G. I stink in real life. When I go out, I try to clean up. Dr. Chow, I bought a Bass shirt, which is like supposedly like outdoor gear, and it's kind of like this. It's the I don't know what the fuck it is, nylon or something. It's like quick dry or whatever the hell it is. I bought a shirt there, and I swear to God, no matter how much soap you use, no matter what you do, within 5 minutes of me putting it on, it's like the BO is really bad. And my techwear, yeah, my wife will be like, she the shirt disappeared. Couldn't find it for like a really long time. And then one day I found it in the bottom of a pile. She didn't have the heart to throw it out, but she was like, this thing just stinks. And I bought it like at BJ's or something. And I really liked it. It was a really comfortable shirt. And but man, it would just stink. And I'm a relatively clean guy. So there we go. So you guys, I hope
I
you
smell
all enjoyed
fantastic.
the stink stream with Crumb and Schmuel. And
Stinky
so we're
later.
on. Crumb is joining us on the regular with Dave. So we are committed to Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7, and we will be doing pop up streams at other times. So I'm sure we'll see you this weekend, and let's hope it's all good. And I am so thrilled my face is back to its normal ugly um,
You
status
look
instead of all
fantastic, bro.
blistered and shit. Oh man, it was.
If you're
I was
sitting next
just.
to me, you look fantastic. I'm ugly.
That's what I do. I was born with the face for radio, so I make other people
Mm.
look good. You know, I'm like the
I'm
fat
legit
chick that
ugly.
goes into the bar with the other girl. They always make the other girls look better. And I want to say that speaking of beautiful women, KB, I'm glad you're here. I hope I get to see you next month at Hackamania. And the rest of you guys, if you have not bought your Hackamania ticket, you should go. It's a lot of fun. Um, and even if you're not into the Melton and the other, it's pretty goddamn cool to hang out with the other dabblers and chatters. And I promise you'll come back with good stories and no bed bugs. So that's the oh, there you go. I make Crumb look good by saying I'm Crumb. Very flattering. Um, KB, I do love Vegas. I can't stand Vegas anymore. I used to love it because I love degeneracy, and now it's gotten like so corporate. None of the it can't do the stuff that I do there. Um, used to
He's
be able
gonna
to just
stream from there, Mint Diggy.
gamble. Yeah, not only I'm streaming from there, and then the Quad Dave and I are doing a show. Hope from the VIP table there. Um, and we'll be doing a couple of them throughout the weekend
Yeah,
while we're there.
Shmuel's gonna be our inside track for the non Hackmania goers.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, because I am a hackamaniac. I love the podcast and I have a lot of fun. but we'll be doing some other stuff too. Because I don't, I'm not a drinker, so going out to bars and getting all pie eyed and not is not going to happen. But I think I am gearing up to uh, video the White Castle second dinner that's going to occur, and then KB, I like to go and dress like a real harlot. You fit right there. I saw you there last year, KB, and you were elegant, is the only way that I can describe you. And KB's a great dresser, and she's got an awesome sense of style. So
Classy lady.
classy, classy, and
She probably
painted stuff.
hate being called a classy lady.
Nah,
Hey,
she's definitely
lady.
you know KB's out of my range, I guess I would say. Adam, whatever. But even when I was young and even more, she still would have been out of my league. That's the word
Yeah,
that I was looking for. So, but KB's a doll, and whoever gets lucky enough.
I've never
And I,
met her, but I agree.
dude, it's
She's always
very
been
funny
really,
because
really super cool to me.
because she's beautiful, she's sweet, but she's also very tall. So it's like it's very funny to watch guys who are either intimidated by her or the guy who's like, no, I'm going to convince her that short men are
Yeah.
fantastic. So,
And she's funny too, so like I'm sure that's even a little more intimidating if people know who she is and how funny she is, and then they're like, "Oh,
yeah,
yeah."
and she's fun. She's very sweet in person, shy but sweet. And Dr. Chow, I was surprised. Wait, Dr. Chow, I was surprised by how tall she was too. She's a tall
Well,
drink
how
of
short
water.
are you guys?
Me? I'm like 5'8",
Oh, okay, you're
barely.
short. Yeah,
Yeah, I am short. I am short. But
and I think that's average actually. 5'8", 5'9"
I
is
think
average
5'10"
for.
is probably average. I'm short.
Yeah, I don't know.
I I once had a therapist tell me I was short, and other
If you
insults.
people think I'm 5'7", so I'm gonna go with that. So I'm short too.
Okay. Um, how much experience, Sam Bibley? How much experience do you have watching men watch her? Um, not a huge amount, but KB can tell you the story of me saving her from someone, and she also is. It doesn't. People are not as unique as you think they are, so you can pretty much it doesn't take it. It's very quick to watch what happens. So she's a good egg. All right, I could. I could go on forever. So good night, guys. It's been a blast. Crumb, I will see you over the weekend. We will
Yes,
talk.
sir. All right, man.
Don't get on Discord and create problems. And
I don't go on Discord anymore. See,
I don't know who. Oh, don't you?
I
I
don't.
really don't. I don't really go on. I don't really go on at
I
all.
mean, I'm on Discord, but I don't go into any Discords, like servers, chats, or anything. I just DM people.
I don't either. Except I do know that in my
But
YouTube
we should start a
studies here,
fucking. We should start a Schmuel. Why don't you have a
I
Schmuel
I
one?
think I do. I think I do, but I don't
All right, well,
really
send me a link.
don't really know how to use it. Good night, guys. I'm gonna cough. Good
All
night.
right, later.
Good night. Good night. Good night.